This Saturday with Vern's pregame starting at 7:30 and first pitch at 8:30 on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2. Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football.
Touchdown, Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You were listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. We got a lot to get into in today's show. They had a debate on Ryan Russillo's podcast about what quarterback you would have for the next 5 years, whether it's Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. We'll go over that as well. CBS gives a statement about Tony Romo. He is being replaced in the interim for J.J. Watt. We'll find out if that will be a prolonged suspension for Tony Romo as he sorts out his legal issues after the DUI he picked up a couple of weeks ago. We got a lot to get into in today's show. There is an NFL team that I am starting to believe in. The Miami Dolphins say that Devon Achane is going to get a heavy workload, something you might want to keep in mind if you play fantasy football. He might be the top player to take this year in fantasy football. And there is a sign, which I know that football is right around the corner. I'll tell you what that sign is. Again, my name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you guys on this fantastic Tuesday. We got a lot to get into in today's show as we get you ready for the start of the NFL season, which is right around the corner. Before we do any of that, I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number two, I need you to tell one friend to check out the show. You know what? I would greatly appreciate it if you could do that. And third, and most importantly, I need you to remember that the open of the show each and every day is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. Stop in, grab yourself a bite to eat. Maybe you want to catch the game later today. You can do all that with our friends over at The Other Place. And remember that today is a Tenderloin Tuesday. So go stop in and see our friends over at The Other Place. All right, let's start today's show with the biggest news of the day in Kansas City. It was a tweet earlier today by Adam Schefter of ESPN. Free agent defensive end Emmanuel Ogbah. He is signing a one-year deal in Kansas City per a source. This is a reunion, Adam Schefter says. You know that Emmanuel Ogbah was on the team with the Chiefs back in 2020 when they won the Super Bowl. Now, I am a little bit torn about this from a nostalgic standpoint, also from a number standpoint, but I also have to acknowledge that I've been somebody that has been complaining about the pass rush. I wanted them to do something about the pass rush. It is the middle of August, so there is only so much that you can do. I do have to keep that in mind in my commentary when discussing this. Now, some of these little charts that they have, I don't really understand all of these football charts. They got a bunch of charts. Well, there was one that was circulating earlier today. It was edge rusher pass rush charting and tracking data for the last 2 years. So this takes a little bit of PFF. It takes a little bit of this, a little bit of that, pass rush win rate, all of those things, and puts it into one colorful chart with a bunch of names. So, for example, somebody like George Karlaftis, he's right there in the middle. He's not a bad pass rusher. He's not one of the better pass rushers in the league. He's just right there in the middle. He's fine. And I think you would agree that is exactly what he is. He's fine. He's not one of the more dominant pass rushers in the league. He's not bad. You don't mind to have him on your roster. He is not overpaid. He is a fine defensive player. Then you look at the very top of the list. Oh, it makes sense to me. Aiden Hutchinson, Myles Garrett, Nick Bosa, Trey Hendrickson, Will Anderson. All right, this chart might actually make a lot of sense here. I can follow this chart. I understand these words. Then I look at the bottom of the chart. Emmanuel Ogbah is last on this list. According to this chart, and it's just one chart, he is the worst pass rusher in the NFL over the last 2 seasons. I then look at what he did last year in the National Football League, and I think you would have to ask the question, is it over for Emmanuel Ogbah? Last year, he had 9 tackles. He had a half sack. He is 32 years old. He will be 33 years old this November. There is a chance that Emmanuel Ogbah is cooked. But you know what? I'm not mad at this move. I'm not upset. I don't want anyone to hear this like I'm complaining. But I think this is a really important caveat when having this conversation. Is Emmanuel Ogbah coming in to be their second best pass rusher, or is he coming in for depth purposes? Because if you've been watching practice for the last 10 to 11 days and then feel the need to bring in Emmanuel Ogbah, is it you are bringing him in because you don't like what you've seen with Ashton Gillotte and his injuries? Are you bringing him in because you don't feel confident in Felix Anudike-Uzomah and his ability to step forward? Is R. Mason Thomas not progressing in the ways that you thought, and you felt like you needed a little bit more reinforcements and something to bolster that pass rush? Or was this just an opportunity for a reunion? And we know the Chiefs love a reunion, a guy that knows the system, knows the scheme, been in this locker room. Was it an opportunity for you to bring that guy back on a cheap, I'm assuming, very low guarantee? They can obviously move on from it if they need to. We don't have the answer to this. That question will be answered based on how they play these guys, how the depth chart shakes out, and how eventually these guys get out on the football field. But if you were telling me that Emmanuel Ogbah is defensive lineman number 2, rush in number 2, I got a serious problem with this move, and this is a sign of help from the Kansas City Chiefs. Or they're bringing him in as pass rusher number 5. He's there in case of an emergency. If an injury happens, you just want to pick his brain as the veteran leader, guys that knows the system, and it's his responsibility to be a mentor to the young guys and help them along in the system. I got no problem with that. I don't think anybody should be able to have a problem with that. That's how you should be using Emmanuel Ogbah at this stage in his career, coming off the season that he just had. It's been a long time since he played for the Chiefs. It's been 6 NFL seasons since he was last on the Kansas City Chiefs. So I know we remember him, and he makes a lot of sense. He is in line with the moves. You know they love to bring back a Tyquan Thornton, love to bring back a McCole Hardman, love to bring back an Emmanuel Ogbah, Mike Dana. All of those options, they feel comfortable. It's familiar for them, so I understand it. Are you bringing him in because your expectation is for him to compete on the opposite side of George Karlaftis, or is he behind the guys that we have been talking about all summer, and he is just depth in case something goes wrong? Those are 2 very different purposes for being on a team. I also think we can now put a conversation to bed. 2 conversations, actually. I feel pretty confident Mansour Delane playing week 1 now. That was real quick because I was a little worried about it last week. I can't lie to you guys. I was worried about it last week, and we talked about it last week. But he put on the pads yesterday. He's practicing, and they got him. He's now a part of drills with this team. Now, I think what Nate Taylor said a couple of weeks ago was actually pretty valid. I don't think he would have played 2 weeks ago, but I think what you are seeing is the practice stage happening in real time, where guys are out of practice, but we don't have access to that. It's during the season, and now it's playing itself out right in front of you, where he would have been out of practice a couple of weeks ago, but now they're ramping up his usage a little bit. We'll see if he plays this weekend against the Rams, but he's going to play at some point here in these next couple of weeks in preparation for the season. So we can put that conversation to bed. Maybe this show was the only ones that were having it about Mansour Delane, but it didn't sound good. But I do think that Mansour Delane is going to play week 1 against the Denver Broncos, and that is obviously fantastic news for the Kansas City Chiefs. They have their 1 in Mansour Delane. They have their 2 in Noel Williams. And right now, they're trying to figure out the rest of it right now as L'Jarius Sneed has missed the last couple of days of practice for whatever reason. Kader Kohu, his name has popped up a couple more times here. And Jadon Kennedy, I saw him getting a couple of reps today. He is also starting to figure some things out in training camp as well. And I was very curious to see how the Chiefs were going to play the first depth chart. But Rob, another conversation that I think we can safely put to bed. I think Jalen Moore is their starting right tackle. Maybe what people were saying was true. They know exactly what they have with Jalen Moore. They wanted to give Khalil Benson some 1 reps. They've gave him some 1 reps at right tackle. They've also given him some at right guard while Trey Smith has been injured. I would guess that Khalil Benson's going to play a lot this weekend in their preseason game. Maybe you guys are right. That they do like Jalen Moore. They're confident in Jalen Moore, that he's going to start the season for them at right tackle, and that is clearly the best option for this team. I told you guys this 2 weeks ago when we were talking about it. You were not going to spin to me that your 5th highest paid player coming off the bench for you was some positive because he's your swing tackle. There's some positions you're willing to overpay for. Number 1 wide receiver, pass rush, your quarterback. You know one thing I'm not willing to overpay for? Your swing 6th offensive lineman. So it being Jalen Moore, that's the starter. And now Issa Pole and Khalil Benson now being your swing tackle break in case of emergency. That's smart. That checks out. So a lot of our questions of training camp are starting to get answered. Eric Bieniemy is back. I think that Mansour Delane is going to play. They made it an addition to the pass rush room. We'll learn a little bit more about him and how much he potentially has left in the tank. Jalen Moore is going to start at right tackle. Patrick Mahomes has performed very well in training camp, and he's been there. They're starting to get a lot of key guys back on the field. We're going through the process right now of this team getting ready for the start of the season. We're about a month out from when they play the Denver Broncos. Coming up on the other side, somebody that has been there every day for Chiefs training camp, Cody Tapp, is going to join us on the show. We'll get his thoughts on all these storylines. Keep it right here. So drive.
Your off-season home for everything Chiefs football.
Talking about the top story, the Chiefs, they have a new offensive coordinator.
96.5, The Fan.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
not yet. But both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Man, I should not have tried to handle this car wreck stuff myself.
Why?
Insurance keeps calling. I gotta find a body shop, rental car, doctor's appointments. Now they're asking for a bunch of other things.
Dude, why are you trying to do this yourself?
Call the Car Crash Kings.
That's literally what they do. You worry about getting better. They deal with the insurance, the paperwork, the calls, all of it.
Hurt in a car wreck? Don't do it yourself. Call the Car Crash Kings. It's what we do.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely from advertisements.
Hi, I'm Tom Shane, third-generation owner at Shane Company. As a family jeweler for almost 100 years, we're known for doing right by our customers. Our legacy of integrity depends on it. We stand behind our engagement rings with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. We handpick the most beautiful diamonds, then negotiate for the best price. At Shane Company, we put you first because a friend always has your back. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Don't Don't let garage door problems sideline your summer plans. Renner Garage Door is ready to tackle repairs, tune-ups, and replacements. Get your free repair or replacement quote today, plus $100 off a new garage door. Featuring trusted brands like Geldon, A-Bar, and LiftMaster, Renner delivers the quality, reliability, and performance your home can count on. RennerDoor.com forward and back.
RENNER, RENNER. What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a 6th sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. What if everything you learned in history class was only half the story? I'm Dr. Hrini Bhatt, host of Hidden History. Every Monday, I go where history gets mysterious. Vanished civilizations, doomsday prophecies, paranormal phenomena, and events that science still can't fully explain. On Hidden History, I treat these moments like open case files. Not myths, not superstition, just incomplete explanations waiting for a closer look. Listen to and follow Hidden History, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Cody Tapp of the Midday Show. They have been covering training camp, getting you ready for the start of the season. Cody, how you doing today, my brother?
Not too bad. A little warm up at camp today, but other than that, we'll survive.
So let's start with this. The top story with the Kansas City Chiefs, they are bringing in Emmanuel Ogbah. What do you make of the move?
I think it's a depth move, but I also don't think you can just take a depth move from the Chiefs and assume that means they're not going to accidentally play. Like Mike Edwards play. I thought that was a depth move. He played. L'Jarius Sneed might make real reps for this team. That felt like maybe a depth move in the offseason. They like veterans, and it's a very, very, very young defense. But because they lost a couple of names you maybe wouldn't know early in the season, I'm not totally surprised that they wanted a veteran. I was hoping it'd be one slightly better than Emmanuel Ogbah, but I'm not surprised they needed one more guy in the defensive line.
Yeah, that's what I started the show with today, is a very simple. If we're talking about this being defensive lineman number 5, I obviously have no problem with it. If you've seen something that makes you worried about what you're seeing with FAU, what you're seeing with R. Mason Thomas and Ashton Gelati, and you now want to throw Emmanuel Ogbah in the mix in the middle of August to a guy who had a half sack last year, those are two completely different philosophies. I'm completely on board with one. I'm terrified of the other possibility.
I think sometimes my fear is that they don't they think about it as like, oh, we're just bringing in a guy, competition, vet who can give you 5 good pass rush snaps. And then I mentioned, like, Mike Edwards, they just played him a bunch, like over Hicks, over Shamari Connor, or moved him into the slot. So it feels like sometimes they fall into the trap, even if they don't mean it. But the thing is, FAU's had a good camp, probably his best camp as a Chief, to be honest. And so he hasn't been a bad player. And R. Mason Thomas, who we had on the show today, has shown plenty of good signs. Now, look, maybe this means pup list for Omar Norman Lott to start the season, and you'd like an extra body down there. Gelati hasn't really been able to practice, so maybe you want a little extra security. I don't think he's ahead of the important guys as of yet. But, like, by the end of the season, Gelati's got to be better than him. Omar Norman Lott's got to be playing more than him. Otherwise, it probably means your offensive or your defensive line is bad.
Right now, we're talking to Cody Tapp of the Midday Show. We discussed this yesterday on the show, so I'm interested to run it by you. Right now, we are in optimism season. That's what August is for around the National Football League. Everybody's a little bit better than what the national pundits think. Everybody is hopeful about what their team's going to get. I think that there are 85 guys right now at training camp that get that measure of protection. I don't think that FAU has gotten it before. We talk a lot about the circle of trust on this show and who's in it and who's not in it. I think Chiefs fans have given up on FAU. Have you given up on him? What do you think he can do this season? What do you expect from him this season?
Okay, so it depends on if you base it off of when he came into the league. Rob can probably attest this. I hated that pick. I thought it was Clark Hunt wanted his big shiny movie moment and decided to click his heels on stage, and they took a player they should have taken in the first round, and they should have traded down and done all this. If you ignore when he was taken and just say, can he be a contributing member of a defensive line? He's good against the run, I think. He's okay against it. Can he give me a couple of pass rush snaps here and there to get me 3.5 sacks this year? I want him to just be close to what Mike Dana used to do for this team a couple of years ago when he was a contributing member. And I would take that. That still might be too high of a ceiling. I think he'll be a perfectly fine rotational defensive lineman. I do think for the first time in his entire career, he actually worked hard this offseason. And I say that knowing that his reputation in the building was maybe he didn't want it. Or maybe being in Kansas City sometimes can hurt you, Carrington, because all your high school buddies are here and you remember how great you were here and you're not separated from your group enough or whatever. I think he actually worked hard this offseason to be a contributing member. But I don't put it above that. I'd be stunned if he turned into a 6 or 7 sack guy. That would surprise me. I just want I don't know, maybe what Danny used to do.
Yeah, I actually think the Chiefs kind of need him this year. If you were telling me that the Chiefs' options are these 3 at pass rush opposite of George Karlaftis, it's a second-round rookie who hasn't played before. Traditionally, that's not where you're getting 7 sacks from. It's Ashton Gelati, who we are expecting to take a massive step forward heading into this year, or right now, a failed first-round pick. They don't really have a lot of great options. I can't really argue that any one of those guys should get an abundance of the snaps heading into this season. It's a true position battle to who can be on the field and who can make the most out of their opportunities. He's not one of the more important players on the team, but this team needs FAU to be a positive contributor for them.
Yeah, they do. He's in normally this is not a sign of a good defensive line, in fairness. He's in a rotational outside defensive end spot. But can I point out that it's probably not going to just be him? And the fact that Peter Woods, I think, is going to be very good, is going to allow on a 3rd and 8 for Peter Woods to be on the inside and Chris Jones to take some of those outside reps. Not not the failed experiment Chris Jones where they tried him as a defensive end, but the Chris Jones we know, where he picks on a guy on the outside and occasionally just lines up somewhere else. But, we looked it up. We've all looked it up. Rookie defensive ends don't get sacks. Rookie defensive ends, there were 6 last year who had more than 4 sacks. There were 6 the year before who had more than 4 sacks. Normally, if you have a 4-sack season as a rookie, you have accomplished something. You have really done a great job by all accounts. I just think they're kind of all lumped together and that they'll rotate in and out. But I guess FAU is no different than the other 2 guys, I guess. Gelati and R. Mason, other than Gelati can't get on the field yet.
This wide receiver room today.
Sorry, Carrington, you cut out one. What about the wide receiver room?
I was just asking how you feel about the wide receiver room. Cyrus Allen is back. He was a little bit banged up today, but he got right back on the field. Rice practiced today, spoke to the media as well. Xavier Worthy is juggling today. It was an eventful day for the wide receivers. How do you feel about them?
I like that at least they're all together. But look, I'm never going to, until they actually show it, going to fall into the everybody got to eat trap or whatever again. I think Rashee Rice is probably a 950-yard wide receiver. I am hoping Xavier Worthy is a 750-yard wide receiver, and that Tyquan and Cyrus Allen can do their Demarcus Robinson impression and get 450. Maybe one of them 450, maybe one of them 350. I think it is an average wide receiver unit with the potential of being a slightly better than average wide receiver unit, unless Cyrus Allen is just the goods. I'm down on Rice a little bit. He didn't used to get open before the injury. They're really slow walking him. Nate Taylor on the show today said right now he would happily lock in 900 yards for Rashee Rice. And I didn't find myself really wanting to argue with him. They're better than they were last year. They're probably better than they were 2 years ago. But those are some of the worst wide receiver units in the league. So I don't know. I mean, I think they're probably average. They're not a bad unit. They're average. But that can be buoyed by having an actual running attack for the first time in Patrick Mahomes' career.
It's crazy how this time a year ago, the sentiment was, man, just wait till they get everybody back. They're going to have Hollywood and Rice and Worthy and watch out league. They basically have that wide receiver room healthy and available week one for the start of the season. Obviously, no Hollywood, but Tyquan Thornton, I think, can give you what Hollywood Brown gave you. And there's a completely different vibe around this room right now.
What's proven? I mean, the only thing you could say is proven is that Rashee Rice, in his career, when healthy, seems to be a guy who would be a 1,000-yard wide receiver. It wouldn't be pretty and it wouldn't be super athletic, but he would get you 1,000 yards. Worthy took a step back. Maybe that was because of the injury. Probably was, at least partially, but he's never stepped forward in a big way. Tyquan Thornton is a failed first-round pick who I don't think they used enough. But what happens if he gets overexposed? So, I'm relying on Cyrus Allen being maybe the goods. And look, they're deep. They're not it's not a bad unit, as in they've got a lot of different people they can throw the ball to, and a 38-year-old tight end who I still think will get 800 yards or whatever. But I don't know. I still question if they can get open against man coverage. Does Xavier Worthy in the deep passing game finally come back? Is he often, all those things. It's an okay unit. I don't want to make it seem like it's bad, but until they prove it, I don't think it's one of those ones we should hype up until they actually put it on paper.
Cody, are you with me now on Mansour Delane? I was very worried last week about it. It just didn't feel good. It felt like there was something that they weren't telling us. Fast forward since then, he's put on the pads. He's practiced in pads. He was very involved in today's practice. I feel good about it now. I think that Mansour Delane is going to play week one against the Broncos.
I think my fear still is that he'll play 70 or 65% of the snaps week one. I think he'll be available, but I'm wondering if they don't baby it for a week or two until they can get to the bye week in week 5. But I don't know, man. 3 weeks to heal an injury that didn't need a surgery should be fine. But I guess this is the one thing that gives me pause still, Carrington, is had this injury happened based on when he got hurt during OTAs and the fact that he is still not hitting in a practice, he would have missed all of September and all of October if this was the regular season. So I don't want to – it's not a minor injury. It never was a minor injury, I guess. And so if he's had enough time to heal and he's okay, I'm fine with it. I think he'll play week one, but I'm still – I don't know. I guess I worry about the flare-up at some point this season if that's a real concern.
What was the mood around Rashee Rice's media availability today? You've been there for some of these press conferences, and everybody's kind of anticipating, I wonder what he's going to say. I wonder what he's going to say. What was the mood around Rice's availability today? This is the first time he's spoken since everything's happened.
I think by the time it was done, everyone first, none of us, I was like, oh, Rashee's available. Didn't see that one coming. Not yet, although they like to get that done before he's available in the post-game locker room for a preseason game, and people can ask him stuff not controlled. So I should have probably seen it coming a little. I was surprised that he talked about the crash, even if it was minor. The last time Rashee Rice spoke about this was in training camp last year, and he had said, essentially gave the lawyer line, hey, it's an active investigation. I can't talk about it. I got lawyers. Makes sense. You're not supposed to talk about that. Don't get yourself in any kind of legal trouble. You don't have to. I was surprised he even said, it was a lesson. I got myself in trouble. Even that part surprised me, I guess, a little bit. So I would say the mood was a little surprised that he was available, just knowing, because, I don't blame a team for hiding a guy who went to jail in the offseason. But, I mean, it also sounded like they gave him – it was kind of crazy. He was saying, essentially he just got kind of maybe a little bit more of the sweetheart treatment than normal. Made it sound like he was available to talk to players and trainers more than probably everyone else locked up was. So maybe it wasn't as bad as we thought when he was in there for 30 days.
Cody, I'll get you out of here with these last couple of questions or so. I see Khalil Benson as the Chiefs are telling us that he's their sixth best offensive lineman. I don't think he's going to start at right tackle, but if something goes wrong with Jalen Moore at right tackle, I don't think they'll hesitate to put in Khalil Benson. If Trey Smith couldn't play in a game, I think they've answered what they're going to do with Khalil Benson. It's clear that they really like him. The point that I made yesterday was, last year everybody loved Issa Polle, and for a good reason. I thought he played well in the opportunity that he got. But the way that Chiefs Twitter and Chiefs fans feel about Issa Polle, that's the way this organization feels about Khalil Benson right now. They love him. He's in very high favor with them.
Yeah, they like him a lot more than they liked Polle. That's pretty clear. But I guess, so same thing. I feel like I'm negative today. Not even on purpose, C-Dot, but it doesn't say great things about their backup guard situation, does it? They've just taken the undrafted free agent rookie, but I guess I can make the same argument at tackle. He is clearly going to make the team, and if anything goes wrong in the offensive line, he's going to play. Like that, I agree with you 100%. And honestly, I think they might let him start at right tackle next season. He might be their long-term answer at right tackle. Because they're probably sick of throwing around first and second round picks and trading away draft picks to try to shore up tackle, and this is clearly a guy they like. I think he could still steal the job from Jalen Moore at some point. But I think they tipped their hand a little earlier than they wanted to, because when Trey Smith went down, they were like, damn, we're not kicking Jalen Moore inside, so sorry, Rook, you got to go play guard. Life's life, but he still has the hold on right tackle, I think, at the moment. But it's one of those things that it'll be like Jawan Taylor next year, or like last year, where at some point, if Jalen Moore's not doing the job, everyone's going to be calling for Benson to get it, aren't they?
Oh, 100%. We all know how this is going to go. The backup quarterback theory. You haven't seen a guy fail yet. That was a point I made yesterday about FAU is, you guys are so high right now in Ashton Gelati because you've never seen him fail. Same thing with R. Mason Thomas. He's a young guy. We've seen the struggles with FAU, and now it's the new shiny thing. It's the new toy. So, if Jalen Moore gets off to a little bit of a slow start, heading into week 3, one of the big talking points here locally is going to be that they need to make a change at right tackle, and that Khalil Benson should be. And you can see that coming a mile away.
Yeah, that's just the way it's going to go. No one's going to call from the start over Trey, and Kingsley did such a good job last year, it won't even be there. I will say, one of the ringing endorsements, at least on the offensive line today, R. Mason Thomas made the point that has been made by other players in passing, but stood out to us, which was, he said, the guys that they face are defensive linemen, offensive linemen, everyone treats when you win a rep against Josh Simmons differently than anyone else. It's like a party in the defensive line room if you beat Josh Simmons in a rep. Everyone, you saw there was a video the Chiefs put out where Karlaftis got the better of him on a one-on-one rep, and they all, threw a parade. So at least I feel like the left to the center position's good. Left guard, center, I got no questions. Hell, that means all the way to right guard. So Jalen Moore's job shouldn't be all that difficult, right? Just as long as everyone else is healthy.
That is our guy, Cody Tapp, joining us on the show. Cody, before we get you out of here, what is your favorite Denzel Washington movie?
Training Day.
Give me an underrated Denzel Washington movie.
Man on Fire.
Two solid answers. Two solid answers by Cody Tapp. You know what, Cody, as the kids would say, ball, man. I appreciate you.
No problem. Thanks, C-Dot.
That's our guy, Cody Tapp, joining us on the show today. He is driving back from Chiefs training camp. Rob, what's your favorite Denzel Washington movie?
That's a great question. Probably Training Day, but I feel like it's so boring to say Training Day. Maybe Remember the Titans.
What's your underrated? What's your sleeper? You know what my sleeper is.
I know everyone knows your sleeper.
John Q. Phenomenal.
You love a John Q.
It's an amazing movie.
Does Philadelphia count as underrated?
I think at this point, there certainly was a time in which it wasn't, but
he also was so young.
For sure.
When he did it.
If you are talking to someone about Denzel and you say your favorite movie is Philadelphia, it will catch a lot of people off guard, where that wasn't the case in 1997, for example. He's made so many movies since then.
That's why I would say it's probably the underrated answer, is that I think I think it's a fantastic movie that still holds up, and I don't think people watch it the way they rewatch other movies.
All right, let's take a little bit of a break from the Chiefs. I promise you we'll get back to the Chiefs here coming up in a little bit. We'll continue to talk about Emmanuel Ogbah, who recently re-signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's talk about one of the top stories right now in football, which is Tony Romo. You guys know Tony Romo got a DUI a couple of weeks ago, and he has since been suspended by his employer. CBS is putting him on ice. They are putting him on the shelf for at least the early portion of the season. The president of CBS Sports, David Burson, I believe that's how you pronounce his name, he spoke with the media and said, quote, "It is an evolving situation, and we are still assessing. There is no timetable on a final decision at this time, and I hope that you can respect and appreciate this is a personal matter and a legal one regarding Tony Romo. Quote, we have to consider the impact on our brand and our image. That's very important to us. The focus should be and needs to be on our presentation and this great product and not on any others. And fortunately, we have a deep bench, so everybody is stepping up." So you guys know Tony Romo was the number one chair at CBS. Nance and Romo, calling all your 325 favorites. They have now replaced him with J.J. Watt. This is a job interview for J.J. Watt. You can get this job. If he blows it out of the water early on with Nance, you can see a way for CBS to get out of the deal and say that Romo violated their morality clause and that he's not calling games for them, and shake up a booth that honestly probably needs to be shaken up. We love Jim Nance on this show, friend of the show. CBS right now has the worst booth of any of the national broadcasts. I guess maybe other than Amazon, but Amazon has Al Michaels calling the game, who's 102 years old. We love Al Michaels, but it's time. The Fox booth is better than CBS. The ESPN booth is better than CBS. NBC's booth is better than them. Fox has the worst booth. This is an opportunity for you to get in there and shake things up, and it's not going to ruffle anybody's feathers right now. He just got a DUI. So even if it's a 2-3 week look and you don't like what you hear with J.J. Watt, you can always bring him back. You can always call him back into the fold. Or if you really like what you hear, you're getting good feedback from the audience, you're getting good feedback in the media, and trust me, that matters. When it comes to this job, how we feel about these people absolutely matters. And it's going to save you a little bit of money. You can void that massive contract that he has. I think there's a strong chance that J.J. Watt just takes over this job full time.
Listen, I understand Tony Romo is not a popular figure. There's a thought in Kansas City he's anti-Chief. Outside of Kansas City, there's a thought he's too pro-Chief. Whatever. I do think it's going to be a little bit foul that CBS is going to use this DUI to replace him, because if he was popular, no one would care. If he was Troy Aikman and was doing a great job, no one would care. They might give him a suspension or whatever, but this is just, hey, we have an out, we found the out, we are taking the out. Because I think J.J. Watt's going to do a better job. And I think Ross Tucker, is Ross Tucker friend of the show?
He is, absolutely.
Ross Tucker, friend of the show, will do a good job in the second booth. He's having his job taken, and it feels like CBS was looking for an opportunity to have him lose the job, and they found their moment. So now I don't know, Jim, moments are going away, but it felt like CBS is probably happy over there that he got the OWI because now they have their out.
That's business. Is it not business? You gave him an out. You gave him a reason. You gave him a reason. Tony Romo is making $18 million a year to call these games. You can't hire a driver? No one's mad at you for having a drink. I don't care what time it is. You're allowed to have a drink. You can't have a driver on speed dial. You can't have a driver on standby to handle these situations, and you potentially damage a $200 million bag that he got from CBS to call 20 games a year. It's a great job. It's a really, really good life. Someone on the text line says, C-Dot, you think the CBS team is worse than Monday Night Football? Much worse. Yeah, I do. I think the Monday Night Football crew is actually the best crew.
I think NBC has the best crew.
I like Buck and Aikman a lot.
I think Aikman's just okay.
Yeah, I'm the opposite. I think Aikman's the best, actually.
I think Greg Olson's the best. He's not on an A team, but I think it's Brady.
Yeah, everybody loves Greg Olson. I'd put him. I like him. I don't think he's as good as Aikman. It's the back and forth between Buck and Aikman. I also feel like Aikman is the only one that can be critical of quarterbacks. Like, he's the only one that's willing to do it. He's also the only one that's willing to call out the officiating at times too. Like, I'm with you. I think the ESPN broadcast sometimes feels more negative because the other ones are always so positive at every single moment, where I think they're not willing to ruffle a little bit of feathers and speak their mind. I love the Fox crew. I love the ESPN crew. I think they're the best crew that's out there. I would put NBC at number 2. I put Fox at number 3, even though I really like what Brady has done. I think Brady has gotten significantly better since from year 1 to year 2. He's a much better broadcaster. I think the CBS crew is just, I think it's over. I think it's over, honestly, for them. I think once you took away Romo's ability to call plays, I think he has become a below average broadcaster. I don't think he is this. That first year, he was a breath of fresh air. It felt new. It felt different. It felt innovative. That is not how listening to Tony Romo felt last year, listening to him call games. And we hear a lot of those games in Kansas City with Romo. I don't think that Romo is a great broadcaster. I think Romo is a basketball player that had a really good first and second year in his career. He's Michael Carter Williams is who he is. And it started to fade, and it faded really, really fast. And now you got a chance to get out of it. All right, you're listening to The Drive here on 610. We're not 610 anymore. We're on 96.5 The Fan. I had it in my mind. We are not 610 Sports Radio anymore. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5 The Fan.
When shopping for a new auto insurance policy, AAA could help you customize your coverage to fit your unique needs and budget. Trust AAA Auto Insurance to help you find the balance that works for you. See how a simple switch could make a big difference. AAA, we're always with you. Visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
It's Chiefs season at Harrah's Kansas City. Every Saturday in August, the excitement kicks off at 6 p.m., where every 15 minutes until 10 p.m., one lucky guest will win up to $2,000 in free play. Then at 10 p.m., one grand prize winner will score a pair of Kansas City season tickets. Wear your red, bring your lucky game day spirit, and join us every Saturday in August at Harrah's Kansas City. Big prizes, big excitement. Don't miss your shot to win.
21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Useful tools and advice that work for your financial situation. That's a great call. Join Main Street Credit Union and get access to a whole coaching staff of certified financial counselors who can help you create a perfect financial game plan with our spend accounts. Real people, real progress. Visit MainStreetCU.org to see how we can take your financial game to the next level.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? You need Jay's Southland Tow Service. They have 20 years of experience and service the KC metro area. They specialize in light, medium, and heavy duty, also in commercial transport and construction equipment. Keep this number handy, 816-779-4TOW, or go to southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments, Jay's Southland Tow. There's nothing they can't do, so be in the know and use Jay's Southland Tow.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When you see this in your kitchen,
The stainless steel fridge is covered in fingerprints.
you hear this.
Leslie, people are going to think you were raised in a barn or by wolves, or raised in a barn by wolves.
Fortunately, Wyman's stainless steel 3-in-1 cleans, shines, and protects to give you the best shine. A spray and a wipe will have your fridge shining like a mirror.
Wow, my fridge looks brand new. Your fridge looks amazing, Leslie. Sorry, I was being a little dramatic earlier.
Your kitchen says a lot about you. Let it brag with Wyman.
This afternoon, expect mostly sunny conditions with a high of 99.
Weather brought to you by Staples. It's the most wonderful time of the year at Staples. They've got back-to-school supplies as low as 25 cents, up to 40% off select tech and more at staples.com/back-to-school. Staples, that was easy.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
All right. I have 3 nonsense topics to throw all in this segment because that's what we do sometimes. When I don't really know where to put it, I just throw it at a 45 sometimes. Thing number 1, Rob, is this. That was one of the worst teases we've ever had. I was really bad there. I got to be better than that. This is 1A, then 1B. There's some unofficial signs that football is right around the corner. Like whenever Phil Steele comes on this show, that's when you know that football's right around the corner. When the college football video game comes out, lets you know that football season's right around the corner. Madden is coming out. Caleb Williams on the cover. Salute to Caleb Williams. Lets you know that football is almost here. The Hall of Fame game. Hey, it's not that far around. Rob, you know what the number one indicator that football's almost here is? When ESPN starts showing the Little League World Series. When you start flipping through the channels and you start seeing 12-year-old kids play baseball in Pennsylvania, that's when you know, hey, man, we only got a couple more weeks of this, man. We only got a couple of more weeks. When you're just sitting there randomly watching Iowa, Rhode Island play a kids' baseball game, that's when you know, hey, man, you just got to hold on a little bit longer. We got preseason football coming up this weekend. We're about a month from cut down day. We're almost there. The Little League World Series, Rob, might really be the unofficial. We're a couple of weeks away from football season. Whenever you see Carl Ravitch standing in the outfield in Williamsburg, Pennsylvania.
Can we talk about real quick how the fact that Carl Ravitch is still doing this despite the fact he's been fired? Like, ESPN still has him doing the Little League World Series post-firing. He decided to honor the Little League World Series contract. That's weird to me. But that's not here nor there. Just, you're right. It is a sign football's here. I'll also tell you, I was watching the newsroom today. Do they have instant replay in Little League World Series?
Oh, I'm not surprised.
What are we doing?
I'm not surprised.
I saw a manager go to the headset. This is a big play at third. Like, just yuck.
This is the next thing. And Rob, you're a nice guy. So I just want to know if this is something that you would participate in. Now, we've never talked about a story like this before, but when something like this pops up, I have to talk about it. A man with the world's smallest member, he is going to undergo a surgery to correct his problem. he did not have the money to pay for his surgery. So he started a GoFundMe page. And on his GoFundMe page, it said, "My name is Michael Phillips, and I'm reaching out for help with a very deep personal medical challenge." He then talked about some of the issues that he had. He says, "I have a condition called micromember, which causes me to only be, Rob, 0.38 inches," he said. "This has made very difficult everyday tasks for me, like going to the bathroom without being able to make a mess. Because of this, my doctor has advised me to pursue a medical procedure to help increase and improve my ability." Rob, he asked for $7,500 on this GoFundMe. He did one radio interview, made $13,000 in 24 hours. $13,000. Now, I'm not even going to say I don't believe this man. I have no reason not to believe you. You want to know what I would never do, Rob? I would never go on the radio and do an interview telling people how I have this condition if I didn't really have this condition. Like, there's some things people will lie about for sure. We've seen that before. People have lied about being sick so they can get something. People have lied about certain things. I don't know if that's something you lie about because you're trying to finesse people on GoFundMe, where your picture, you were on the TV, you did a radio interview. I don't know if you're doing that or not. This is what I want to know from you, Rob, because you're a nice guy. Would you have donated to this? Because this is what I've noticed about Americans. Americans, we see, oh, that's really sad, and we'll just donate to the GoFundMe account. Like, you've donated to some random GoFundMes before. Somebody just sends you this. "Hey, can you donate to my GoFundMe? My sister, they're trying to go to Colorado for her senior trip." "Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, here's $20. And everybody kind of throw a little bit of cash there. You support, you feel good about yourself. Is this something that you would have donated for? This man had a serious medical condition and needed a little bit of help. The procedure was about $7,500. He needed it to increase the size of his member, and he raised about $14,000 with this. Is this something you would have donated to?
For a stranger? Like, if I was just like driving around and I heard the radio interview, I don't know I would have donated for that reason. Now, if for some reason I knew the man and he had set up the GoFundMe, probably. But it sounds like he got about $14,000 in sympathy money. People just feel bad about his situation, I guess I'll call it, and they donated to it. But I don't know I would be driving around in my car, headed home from work or into work, have heard that interview, and then be like, you know what? I'm going to send some money. If I knew the man, I probably would, though.
Okay, I'm just telling you.
Would you have donated?
Absolutely no chance would I have clicked play on this. Think about all of the causes that exist on the internet. This is the one that I'm deciding to give my money to. I'd rather help pay for some kid's classroom for the year, some teacher that wants me to donate to their classroom. I'd much rather give that money to. So he's going to have his procedure. It's now scheduled. It's for August 17th, and it's gonna help him out by about 10 to 30%, it said. About 10 to 30%.
Not that we can play the audio if it exists. What was he saying that got people to donate? I mean, other than it's clearly a sad story.
Rob, it's 0.38 inches. I don't know if you really got to do a whole lot more to go on there and tell people I was born this way. Help me. There's a group of people that's like, all right, I got you, big dog. Can you imagine going through life like that? Like, you start really feeling shorty. You and her starting to really kick it off. You know, things are progressing. You guys are trying to be together. And all of a sudden she finds out. You know how that would just end almost any relationship that you're in? So, yeah, I'm sure there's people that feel for my man out here. I just want to know if you would have contributed. If you would have threw some ducats in the GoFundMe. But it sounds to me like you wouldn't have helped.
I don't think I would have helped. Especially, as a stranger. Like, imagine driving home and you're listening to the radio and you're like, man, Michael Phillips really going through it.
Yes, he's going through it.
I got his back. That's not how I would get down.
I just wanted to share that story with you. I just wanted to share it. Somebody on the text line says, this makes me look forward to a Thursday night football game. Oh, we're going to talk about this during football season. I've never heard anything like this before. Like, there's some stories that when they come across my timeline, trust me, I know we're talking about them. You just gotta hold on for the 5 minutes that we talk about it, and then we'll move on, and then we'll get back to talking about other things. But I mean, come on now. I mean, that was a story that had to make the show today. That's insane. He made $14,000. He probably could have kept going. If he would have said that the surgery was $25,000, he probably would have got $25,000. He kind of undersold it, only saying it was $7,500. He was really genuinely looking for help. He should have said the surgery was $50,000 and took the $38,000 that he potentially raised. I don't know if GoFundMe will pay you out if you don't hit your goal, but he should have done something. I mean, salute to him, though. Good luck to him. He's got a surgery coming up next week to correct his little problem. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Rob, let's get to some kind of quick hitter notes that are happening right now in the NFL that I want to weigh in on. We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
Kansas City football fans, Dane and Hughes here. Countdown to kickoff is officially on, so now is the time to stock the cooler with Yingling Flight. Whether you're headed to training camp, firing up the grill, or getting together with family and friends on game day, Yingling Flight is the perfect way to enjoy the football season. At just 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs, it's everything you want in a light beer. Yingling Flight, the next generation of light beer. DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Enjoy responsibly.
My constipation with belly pain kept coming back. I'm back! Like her. Future me. You know why I'm here. Our doctor figured it out. Your symptoms keep coming back because it's irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C. And Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is the #1 prescribed branded treatment for IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily prescription pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2 years old. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Baseball fans, America's pastime is a game of decisions. Is it going to be a fastball or a sinker? Should you swing big or play for the bunt? And FanDuel is giving you that same strategy every Dinger Tuesday with a choose-your-own-reward customization, which allows you to transform the experience. Option 1, the bet reset. Use this on your wager, and you'll get refunded in bonus bets if your slip doesn't cash. Option 2, a 50% profit boost. Make your bet, activate the profit boost, and if it hits, you'll get extra winnings for the price of no extra cost. Whatever your style is, remember that you are in control. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use instantly on your next home run bet. FanDuel.com/local. Now choose your reward for every home run bet on Dinger Tuesday. Play ball with the home for home runs, and that's with FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Option required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
Hi, I'm Carter.
And I'm Charlie. We'd like to share a quick story about a homeowner named Jack.
Jack had a home he needed to sell fast.
And Jack thought he had it all figured out.
So Jack talked to multiple cash buyers.
Jack chose the highest offer.
But the day before closing, guess what? The buyer backed out.
Leaving Jack with the moving truck all packed in the driveway and not sure what to do.
Jack learned the hard way that the highest offer isn't always the right offer.
Jack got suckered.
Make sure you aren't hung out to dry.
Call our dad at Rex Buys KC.
Our dad is local, he knows Kansas City, and he actually closes deals.
No repairs, no fees, no showings, no surprises.
Just a fair cash offer and a smooth process.
Now, don't be like Jack.
Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. On Kalshi, you can trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Spain was trading at 17% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $572 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. Kalshi, Kalshi, trade on anything. 18 plus only, must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prices, value, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see kalshi.com/regulatory.
Cody and Gold are live from the practice field at Chiefs training camp this summer on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Rob, I just watched this clip during the commercial break, and the clip was George Kittle, and he was saying how one of his teammates was an undrafted rookie, and they were in the locker room, and George Kittle asked his teammate how much money he made in NIL last season, and he said $700,000 he made last year. And then George Kittle asked him how much he is getting paid right now, and he said $30,000. Think about that. Last year in college, he didn't say who it was, he made $700,000. He now is making $30,000 in the National Football League. And then George Kittle asked him a great question. So why are you here? Why did you not stay in school? Now, I understand everybody's situation is different, but when we start having these conversations about guys jumping to the league, Rob, my stance is going to be very clear. I would stay in school for as long as you can unless you have a guaranteed top 10 pick situation. They're paying an exorbitant amount of money, and it just seems like it's more fun to play college football than in the NFL. Rob, you remember when your parents used to say, don't rush to be an adult? I can't imagine being 20, 21 years old. You now get paid handsomely to play basketball at Kansas. Sounds like a really, really good life to have. So I would try to stay in college for as long as I could if I was some of these guys. That's why I don't fault them for trying to play 7-8 years. Rob, he was making $700,000. He was an undrafted player. You would think that money's going to the top guys. $700,000. Some of these guys aren't even taking your phone call if you're not calling with at least $1 million. I don't think we would want to know. And you and I both love college football. I don't think you would want to know if you saw the actual spreadsheet of what guys are making in college football. You would be like, what? That guy makes that amount of money? We're paying $220,000 a year for our third-string quarterback who never plays? I think we would be blown away about how much money these colleges are spending on some of these players.
This is why, as the 5-and-5 rule becomes more permanent, I think every person who could get that fifth-year eligibility and go back to school should be going back to school and get as much money as possible. Until there is a cap, until college football is regulated, there's stupid money. We also have the high end. Like Sam Levitt's making more money this year than some NFL quarterbacks. Like, that's a real thing.
I mean, Dante Moore's making more money than some
100%.
quarterbacks. Like Dante Moore this season is making more money than Carson Beck is, 100%.
He might make me making more than Fernando Mendoza.
For sure.
And like, I have a chance to be a Raider or I can be at Oregon. Oregon's better. But like, as the Denver ruling comes down and 5-and-5 guys have a choice, you're going to see a lot of them start going back to school. You saw the defensive tackle from Indiana. He was practicing on training camp. Now he's back at Indiana. Why not? Bloomington is where the money's at.
Yeah, no, for sure. 100%. Someone on the text line says, college is the only place where the coach will take 100% of the blame from the media and the fans while the players return to their normal lives every day. Yeah, I don't think that's the college athletics that we have anymore. Certainly not with gambling, and now that they have gotten paid. Now that the athletes get paid, we treat them like pros now, and we should. Arch Manning is a professional football player. Dante Moore is a professional football player. Yeah, they're at college. Dante Moore probably makes $4 to $6 million to play football. That's why if I'm some of these guys, and the text line makes a good point, Avery Johnson will never make more money than he is currently making right now at K-State. If I'm somebody like Avery Johnson, or if I was Jalen Daniels last year, I would do everything I could to stay in college for as long as they would let me stay in college. So you're going to give me 5 years of this where I'm making $1 million, $2 million. I don't really have that much of a pro future, but I can, by the time I start my adult life, I'm 23 years old and I got $6 or $7 million in the bank because I was a starting quarterback in college. You need to stay there for as long as they will let you stay. 1,000%. But I also think, and I know we got off topic a little bit here, but it's sports anyway, what does it matter? This is why I think some of us fought so hard for this money. If you're somebody like Todd Reesing, for example, there's actually a documentary on him coming out August 27th at Screenland Armor. But if you're Todd Reesing, your top earning potential in life was between the ages of you being 19 and 22 years old. That was your top earning potential. And the rules wouldn't let you make it. Todd Reesing lives a better life if he is able to play college football in 2026 as opposed to playing college football in 2006. Todd Reesing's making, $2-3 million a year to be the quarterback at Kansas? Maybe he transfers, maybe he stays, but he then gets a raise after 2007. He makes a substantial amount of money. By the time he leaves college, he leaves with a degree. He also leaves with $8 million in the bank. It's a pretty good life for a lot of people, especially when everybody else is making money around you. It's not like everybody is around you is poor and you're the only one that's making money. The coaches making money. The ADs are making money. The people selling tickets are making money. Everybody seems to be making money off of these college kids except them. So I don't have any problem that they are now participating in the abundance of wealth that is college football or college basketball.
I agree with you. However, NIL is going to start needing guardrails quick. Because
for sure.
You mentioned Arch Manning. Do you know how much the Texas roster costs this year?
I'm guessing 20 to 25 million, I'm assuming.
For football, I'm betting it's more like 50, 60. Like, they got that Cam Coleman kid out of Auburn.
Yeah, he wasn't cheap.
That wasn't cheap. Arch ain't cheap. Like, they already have, what's the kid's name? Wingo. He's a Missouri kid. He's at Texas. He ain't cheap. Like, Texas can just outspend. Texas Tech last year just outspent. Like, I'm all for the kids making money. You're right. 07, Todd Reesing would be king of Lawrence with his money. But it can't just be, can Kansas pay at the same level as Texas? Because then we're going to have just comical disparity in the sport. Like, they need guardrails.
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I guess I would argue that we've always kind of had those guardrails in college athletics. I understand the point that you're making, but I mean, Alabama and Vanderbilt are in the same conference. I don't think they have the same amount of resources. I think it's always been disproportionate. Now the players can just flaunt how disproportionate it is. Someone said, out of curiosity, who do you think is the highest paid college athlete? I'm including across all sports. I would assume Arch Manning.
That's a really good question.
I don't think there's a basketball player that makes more than Arch Manning does.
No.
I think it's either Arch or Jeremiah Smith. I think it's one of those two.
I think On3 had a thing about this the other day. Let me look that up.
I'm guessing that Arch is probably worth somewhere between $8 to $10 million. Like, if we're just talking about like what I think he's worth to the university, you have Arch go shake hands. You have him go do some booster stuff. Arch is worth a lot of money to the University of Texas.
Okay, so I pulled this up. This is On3 Sports. This is their NIL evaluations as of yesterday. They have number one is Darian Mensah.
Yeah, they had to pull him away from Duke, I remember. So Miami threw a heavy bag that way.
This is all sports. Do you know who number two is? It's that Iowa State shooter, Momcilovic, who transferred to Kentucky.
How much is he making?
They say he's making upwards of 6 to 10.
Oh, wow.
They also
Kentucky desperate to be good at basketball again. They've been so trash for the last couple of years.
They also have Arch in the top 20, but he is not in the top 10.
Oh wow!
They have the top.
I would assume Arch would have been number one.
They have the top 10 as Sam Levitt, Trinidad Chambliss, Yesufu, the kid who transferred from Baylor to St. John's in basketball, Thomas Huff.
Wasn't he at Kansas?
Different Yesufu.
Oh, okay, that's his cousin.
Something like that. Thomas Huff, or Haugh, the guy who stayed in college, didn't go to the NBA in Florida. Tyron Stokes is top 5. Jeremiah Smith, Dante Moore, Flory, Momcilovic, and Darian Mensah. That's their top 10.
Okay.
They have PJ Haggerty in the top 15.
Oh, well, we know PJ Haggerty. He can always get paid. PJ Haggerty, he got absolutely no problem with being paid. Someone says, I know what you went, but Vandy's a bad example. They have tons of money, just private. I mean, I can give you other examples. I mean, that's just one example of it. I mean, Kansas and UMKC both play Division I basketball. They do not have the same amount of resources. So we've always been fine with the discrepancy of the haves and the have-nots. Duke and Green Bay both play Division I basketball. No one seems to want Green Bay to have more things compared to them. So that was the point I was making more than anything.
But Con Knippel was literally a Wisconsin kid. I promise you, Gottlieb couldn't get him over Duke.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's why I'm just making the point of, yes, like, I understand we want parity. We also are accepting that there is a gap in the parity as well, and we are perfectly fine with it. That exists inside the conference. I'm assuming that Texas and Missouri don't spend the same amount of money on NIL. I'm assuming they do not have the same amount of resources. And it also exists from Tulane and Oregon are both Division I colleges. They played each other in the college football playoff last year with James Madison that Oregon played. And yeah, it's not very close between the two and the resources that they have. I was going to talk about the Dolphins, and we got distracted by NIL, and that's my fault. The head coach for the Dolphins said that Devon Achane needs to be prepared for a heavy workload. Now, the Dolphins, to me, look like a team that they have made the decision that they are tanking, in my mind. They've made the decision they're done. They're done. They're tanking for this year. They have no interest in being super competitive this season. Rob, who's the number one pick in fantasy this year? Is it between Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs? Is that the two?
Chase is always in the conversation, probably, but yeah, it's probably those three guys.
I don't know. I'm text line. I'm genuinely asking.
I haven't delved into my fantasy stuff yet.
Well, that's probably why you be losing.
I do.
I mean, now we're starting to find out.
Right now, it's
the people that are good at fantasy have already started preparing for fantasy football. The people like you that just donate money to the pot every single year, you wait until the weekend before and it's like, hey, let me start to do this. No, if we're playing for money, I want to win.
I do my research now on my futures bets, then I pivot to the fantasy football.
Okay, 913-586-7965. Who's the number one fantasy player going to be this year? Devon Achane seems like he's certainly going to be a first-round pick, but I'd be a little bit worried about that team. Like, they don't got nothing else going on that team. Like, not even a little bit going on with that roster. They're bad. I'm guessing it's Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs. That's just what I would guess. Two very, very safe options. You know they're going to get the ball a lot. You know they're going to be consistent. You know they're going to score. That seems like the way that you'd rather have it.
Puka Nacua is also in the conversation.
Is it better? Now, I don't know this in fantasy, so this might be an ignorant question. If you're doing a snake-style draft, for example, and let's say you got 10 people in your team and league. I think that's a safe number of people. You got 10 people in your league. Is it better to have the first pick in the first round and then because you get the best player in fantasy football, but you also get the last pick in round 2, or is it better to have the 10th and 11th pick?
I prefer 10-11. I hate 1 and was it 21?
Can you trade picks in fantasy? Like, if you do the randomizer and then you get the 3rd overall pick, can you call me up and say, hey, you got the 7th overall pick, I want to move back? Is it that realistic now when it comes to the draft? I genuinely do not have the answer to the question. I do not know.
I think some leagues will definitely allow that. However, I don't know it is a universal rule. Like, my league did allow that. I offered to pay someone's buy-in to go from 5 to 12.
See, that doesn't sound right to me. You can now offer things outside of the game?
No, the buy-in.
That don't sound fair to me.
The buy-in is part of the game. I'm not picking a 5 in a 12-person league. That's a death sentence.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. That's why I was asking. I don't know. I have absolutely no clue. How do you, I guess I now have more fantasy football questions. I don't know. How do you ensure that people don't quit at the end?
Punishment for the losers. Have you not seen that social media
but I'm
trend?
saying every league does that?
Most leagues do that to incentivize the bottom. Like, if you don't want to be at Waffle House for 24 hours or at the bar for 24 hours or having to carry a goofy sign to a Royals game, try.
Someone said, who is the Dolphins wide receiver room? Is it better than ours? Yeah, it's significant. The Chiefs wide receiver room is significantly better than Minnesota's or Miami's room. Significantly better than Miami's.
Well, that's because the Dolphins are trying to lose.
I mean, their wide receiver room's bad. Here, I'll read it to you guys real quick. Let me pull it up.
They also have
here.
Malik Willis, too. So, like,
I mean, I don't matter who it is.
Mahomes
is their quarterback that's that bad. Their wide receivers are Malik Washington, Jalen Tolbert, Tutu Atwell. That's their 1 through 3 at wide receiver. So, yes, I know we complain about the Chiefs wide receiver room, I think for good reason, but it could always be worse. They could be the Miami Dolphins. Rob, have you ever won your fantasy league?
I have. I've won it twice.
Was it a while ago? It was like recently.
I don't think I've ever won it since working here, so it's been a while.
So you've been around me, you've been hearing my takes, and it's completely derailed your career in fantasy football.
Also, the implementation of gambling. Like, what do I care more about, my futures or fantasy football?
I just wanted to know. I had fantasy football questions. You guys have answered all the questions that I have. If I have more, I'll just ask you guys some fantasy football questions. The text line is saying that you have to be in a league that has 12 people. If you don't have 12 people in your league, it's not a serious league.
We got 12. We say at 12.
Okay.
I agree with that. I also think 14's okay, but when it gets to like 16, 18, 20, come on now. That's too much.
Because it's just not enough good players, not enough good quarterbacks?
Not enough good players.
Okay.
If you're picking 18th, you're screwed.
Okay. All right.
Because then you're picking 36.
I can't remember the last time I was in a fantasy football league.
What have you done more recently, a bracket or fantasy sports?
I've helped other people with their fantasy football team.
All right.
So fantasy football more recently. But like me sit down and fill out a bracket, or this is my team that I'm going to watch and manage and keep up with. Yeah, it's been a long time since I've done it. But, hey, you guys love it. So more power to you. We'll probably do some fantasy football once we get a little bit closer. But I was curious. All right, coming up on the other side, we are going to head to Jacksonville. That's the last team that Emmanuel Ogbah played for. We'll get back to the Chiefs. They make a move. They pick up Emmanuel Ogbah. What does that mean for the roster? Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right. You pay what we pay on any in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory. Our certified techs will even mount and balance them for only $30 per tire. All that plus a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. Gas and grocery prices may be going up, but there's never been a better time to buy tires. Reserve yours now at TELLEtire.com before our sale ends. Take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
Dynasties aren't built overnight. They're built one smart move at a time. At Main Street Credit Union, our certified financial counselors turn your hopes for someday into a game plan that starts today. Schedule a financial counseling session with one of our certified financial advisors to draw up the right financial play for you. Main Street Credit Union. Real people, real progress. Join us at mainstreetcu.org.
The best football contests are back out in Las Vegas with Circa Sports. $30 million in guaranteed prizes, no rake in any of the three contests. Circa Million, 18 weeks of point spread action, 128 ways to win. Or Circa Survivor, you pick one winner each week, the last one standing wins. And Circa Grandissimo with $100,000 entry. Enter in Nevada, play from anywhere. $30 million guaranteed. Visit circusports.com for details.
You don't have to carry everything on your own. Whether you're dealing with stress, anxiety, depression, substance use, or thoughts of suicide, talking to someone can help. And help is available 24/7 through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text 988 anytime to connect with a trained mental health professional. 988 is free, confidential, easy to remember, and available anytime, anywhere, to anyone. Call or text the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. No judgment, just help.
I've had a number of surgeries, and frankly, I don't have time to rehab a surgery and an operation at this point in my life. I didn't want to take time off my kids' activities.
That's why former college and pro football player Bobby Carpenter turned to QC Kinetics. We couldn't be happier saving our patients like him from operating rooms and long recoveries.
I've been able to resume like normal activity for me, which is a lot of running. It's a lot of workouts. I've been very, very blessed with how it's been able to hold up.
For so long, patients have accepted surgery as the only solution. But with new technologies, the medical professionals at QC Kinetics use regenerative treatments, your body's own biologics, to help heal and restore knees, hips, shoulders, and backs.
I actually ran into a friend of mine over at our golf course, and he had his knee done. It felt so well. He'd got his shoulder done. He goes, I can't thank you enough. He'd heard the commercial on the air, and so it's feeling great.
Find out how you can avoid surgery and finally get relief. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Hi, I'm Michaela, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. You found your dream engagement ring. As a jewelry consultant, I recommend to start shopping for your wedding band 6 months before your big day. Don't worry, At Shane Company, we're here to help you find the perfect bands. Our men's and women's bands are crafted to high-quality standards, and it shows in every detail, with a stylish design and comfortable fit. At Shane Company, we'll take care of your engagement ring and wedding bands for life, because a friend wants you to say, I do, to your rings again and again. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, Mom, now that I have an after-school job, I think I want to buy a drum kit.
Okay, Rockstar. Let's look at your account.
When kids start making money, Chase has easy-to-use tools and expert bankers to help them learn how to manage it.
And next month, I'll buy the bass drum and the cymbals. Oh, and maybe some noise-canceling headphones for you.
Aw, you've thought of everything.
Help kids save, budget, and build financial independence, all with Chase. That's good for kids and good for parents. Visit your local Chase branch and get started.
Account subject to approval. J.P. Morgan Chase Bank and a member FDIC.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Back to school season is here, and Dollar General has everything you need to start the school year strong. Don't forget to grab a pair of bright yellow sunglasses from the Yellow Glasses Project for just $2. Every purchase makes a difference, with 100% of proceeds helping support teachers, classrooms, and nonprofit organizations working to improve reading and literacy skills across the country. Stop by Dollar General today and shine bright with the Yellow Glasses Project, available now at Dollar General. The Yellow Glasses Project is a program of the Dollar General Literacy Foundation.
Chiefs coverage sponsored by Park & Go, your home field advantage for airport parking.
Sun, sand, and stress-free travel start with Park & Go, the best deal on airport parking. Keep your car cool with all covered parking and enjoy fast shuttles right to the terminal. Reserve your spot now at bookparkandgo.com. Park & Go, family-owned, customer approved.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Crash cleanup continues down at 470 eastbound and 50 highway. Exit ramp, right lane block, scoot to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's George Karlaftis from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome to The Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
I have one more non-sports thought to share with you guys. You know how sometimes you can just point to a moment in life where life was never the same? Rob, did you know on this day, 35 years ago, Rugrats had its first episode? Doug also had its first episode. Doug is my favorite Nickelodeon cartoon. And Ren and Stimpy. I mean, Rob, what a day. Can you imagine being a kid? I mean, I was too young. I was 3 years old when this happened. Can you imagine, Rob, you sit down in front of the television, you have no clue, but they tell you that they got some new content coming in on Nickelodeon, and you're like, you know what? What the hey? I'll give it a chance. And you get blessed with Rugrats, Doug, and Ren and Stimpy back to back to back for an hour and a half. That's a life-changing experience. You can't turn the television off and then be the same. You witness history. It's one of those moments. What a time.
Rugrats really was something special. And they made a movie. They made multiple movies of Rugrats? Like Rugrats was great. I was never.
They had a regular one. They went to Paris for one.
I was never personally a fan of Ren and Stimpy. That just didn't move me.
Yeah, Ren and Stimpy wasn't my kind of show, but I do acknowledge it was very popular for a time.
Yeah, I acknowledge it's like there have been a lot of
I'm
cartoons.
a big Doug, Rugrats, Hey Arnold guy myself.
Mm-hmm.
If you want me to go, what's my Nickelodeon bag? That's my bag. A little Skeeter Valentine, a little Patty Mayonnaise, give me a little Arnold, a little Helga, and a little Chucky Finster.
That's probably the same time. I mean, I never liked it, but Cat Dog became a thing.
Yeah, I wasn't into Cat Dog. That was stupid.
I thought it was really dumb, but it was.
People did like Cat Dog.
It was very popular.
People said, what about Angry Beavers? That wasn't really my show.
I was Nickelodeon over Cartoon Network, too. Like, Dexter's Lab didn't move me the way it moved people.
Yeah, the only show that I used to really love that was on Cartoon Network was Johnny Bravo. That was the only show that, like, oh, I like this show. This is funny. But I never liked, like, Dexter's Laboratory or Powder Puff Girls. Nope. Like, I wasn't really into it.
Ed, Ed, and Eddie's on the text line says,
yeah, I wasn't into Ed, Ed, and Eddie either. But I watched it. I mean, we all watched it. But I actually liked more of the older cartoons on Cartoon Network more than anything. Like, I used to watch Speed Racer on there. I got really into Scooby-Doo for a time. I was really into Scooby-Doo. Someone said Rocket Power. Rocket Power was strong.
Yes,
it wasn't
Rocket
my
Power.
favorite, but I did enjoy Rocket Power.
I actually really liked Rocket Power.
Did you used to watch the Wild Thornberries? That was on Nickelodeon too?
No, but I'm aware of the show.
Yeah, that was another show. Wasn't for me.
That was basically a prequel to Mean Girls.
You know who actually used to have a really good run that we don't talk enough about? Disney's One Saturday Morning. When they had Pepper Ann and Recess, I used to love Recess.
Well, very Recess used to be on ABC too.
Yeah, it was good.
There was a time in television history where, like, right before the 11 a.m. college football game were cartoons, and it was a great time. Jack Hanna's Adventure was also on ABC.
Someone says, you old heads are tripping. SpongeBob is the greatest Nickelodeon show of all time. Yeah, that's just no, I'm not.
He's probably right, or she. I don't know but they're probably correct.
Yeah, it was never for me. I've never watched SpongeBob and laughed.
Really?
Not a single time.
I find myself at times enjoying SpongeBob. I think it's overdone
Not
now.
a single time have I ever watched that show and thought it was funny, thought it was interesting. Not a single time. It's just not for me. I'm sure I know people love it. It's been popular. It's still popular. They just had a movie come out last year for SpongeBob. I never ever could get into SpongeBob. I was much more of a Disney Channel kid than a Cartoon Network kid. Like, when it was time to be in the Disney Channel, I was in the Disney Channel. I was into Real Jet Jackson and Lizzie McGuire and Even Stevens and That's So Raven. I love Disney Channel. Yeah, I was never a Cartoon Network guy now in hindsight, like going through some of these shows.
Do you know what, like, really shows our age? The other day I saw this on social media. It was like Disney stars and what they're doing now. Jonas Brothers and Demi Lovato were listed. That is not my Disney Channel.
Yeah, no, not at all. I was out at that point. I was completely out at that point.
I was like, what did they do on Disney? What are you talking about?
Yeah, because it was funny because my sister, actually her birthday was a couple days ago. Happy birthday to her. She's 24 years old. And I asked her, when you think of Disney Channel, what show do you think of? And then she told me that she thinks of Wizards of Waverly Place. And that's when I was like, yeah, we're from two completely different generations of Disney Channel. If the first show you think of is Wizards of Waverly Place, yeah, I was out at that point. I was an adult by the time those shows started coming on television.
The fact that Selena Gomez went back and did like a spinoff and it was like a big deal shows that that just never, ever registered with me. Like That's So Raven that was still my timeline. That registered with me.
All right, coming up in just a little bit, we're going to get back to very serious sports things. We're going to be joined by Ryan Green. He is in Jacksonville. He covers the Jaguars. That's the last team that Emmanuel Ogbah played for. He was on the team last year. He didn't have the greatest season. We'll try to figure out what it was. Is he washed? Was he injured? The numbers are not gaudy for him last year. Why is that the case? We had Cody Tapp on the show earlier today, and we asked him what's his expectations for the Chiefs wide receiver room. Here's what he said.
I'm not going to fall into the everybody got to eat trap or whatever again. I think Rashee Rice is probably a 950-yard wide receiver. I am hoping Xavier Worthy is a 750-yard wide receiver, and that Tyquan and Cyrus Allen can do their DeMarcus Robinson impression and get 450. You know, maybe one of them 450, maybe one of them 350. I think it is an average wide receiver unit with the potential of being a slightly better than average wide receiver unit, unless Cyrus Allen is just the goods. I'm down on Rice a little bit. He didn't used to get open before the injury. They're really slow walking him. Nate Taylor on the show today said right now he would happily lock in 900 yards for Rashee Rice.
I was thinking back to the show yesterday, and it was right before we played the John Sherman interview, and somebody was really mad. And they were like, man, you're always so hard on Xavier Worthy. Why are you so hard on him? And I just replied, I'm not a believer. And the guy then replied, well, he's going to prove you wrong this year. I was like, all right, yeah, that's cool. What would proving me wrong be when it comes to Xavier Worthy? And he said 700 yards. And I was like, all right, well, I mean, what are we doing here? It's a first-round pick. We're now touting 700-yard seasons. Is proving me wrong when it comes to Xavier Worthy? I don't think that's outside the realm of possibility. I don't. My point on Xavier Worthy has been a very simple one. The fact that we are applauding 700 yards as a great season is the point that I'm making. I think we all have kind of resigned to the fact of he's not the guy that we thought he was going to be coming out of it. And my point on him has been very, very simple. Like, you can't in one vein tell me that you don't like the Chiefs wide receiver room, then in the second vein be like, why are you so hard on Xavier Worthy? The two things are correlated with each other. They're linked. That's why I don't like the Chiefs wide receiver room, because Xavier Worthy is a major component of their wide receiver room. That's kind of how we got here. Let's talk about the defensive side of the ball. Ryan Green, friend of the show, 1010 XL in Jacksonville. Want to get his thoughts on Emmanuel Ogbah, who just re-signed in Kansas City. Ryan, how you doing down there, man?
Hey, Carrington, I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Ryan, I do want to get your thoughts on Emmanuel Ogbah, but let's take a really quick detour here. Once again, I don't think that anybody is giving Jacksonville credit. Now, I'm guilty of it as well. I think they are a prime regression team. What is it like to be so overlooked the way that I think they are coming into the season? What's your outlook for Jacksonville heading into the season? Do you see them as one of those contending teams?
I do, Carrington. I'll tell you, Liam Cohen loves the fact that they're being overlooked. I know he made that viral video on our radio station here in Jacksonville saying he can go to the NFL.com website and see, 40 photos of Caleb Williams and nothing about Jacksonville. And that's exactly right. I mean, Trevor Lawrence was a top 5 finalist for the NFL Most Valuable Player Award last year. I see him on lists this year as a quarterback outside the top 10 coming into 2026. I mean, are you kidding me? It's a 13-win team, a team that won 8 in a row to end the regular season. Josh Allen had to put on the Superman cape in the wild card round and do Josh Allen things to knock out Jacksonville. And people have either forgotten about that or don't care. And I'll tell you, I think the Jaguars are very happy with where they are because they can use that lack of respect card for a second straight year. And I think people are going to be pretty surprised at the product they're going to put on the field here in Jacksonville.
I mean, if you look at the Vegas odds, I think the Vegas odds have communicated we want to see it again, that we're back on Kansas City, Buffalo, and Baltimore. We think the AFC is going to return to normal. What did Jacksonville do last season that you think they can replicate this year? And let's focus in on the head coach, Liam Cohen. I've been doing some national radio here these last couple of days. I'm starting to get a sense that people down there really like him. What's the tone? What's the sentiment around Jacksonville's head coach?
Oh, he's great because he says publicly what we have thought here privately for years about Jacksonville getting overlooked. And Carrington is with good reason. I mean, the Jaguars have been awful for a large majority of the last, 15, 20 years. In fact, here's a crazy stat for you. The Jaguars haven't gone to the playoffs in back-to-back years since 1998 and 1999. You got to go back to the last century to find 2 consecutive years where the Jaguars have gone to the playoffs. They come up one year and they plummet back down to earth the next. And they understand that. They know that narrative. That is a huge talking point in that building here in Jacksonville about sustainability, building off of what they did a year ago. And look, with the additions that were made, the fact that both coordinators came back, Grant Udinski and Anthony Campanile, so there is cohesiveness in the staff. Trevor Lawrence, year 2 with Liam Cohen, coming off a top 5 MVP finalist year a year ago. I don't know if there's a better top-to-bottom wide receiver room in the league. Do they have a Jamar Chase or a Justin Jefferson? No. But when you take into account Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers, Parker Washington, and a sprinkling in of Travis Hunter, that's pretty good in a 4-wide receiver set with Trevor Lawrence throwing the ball. So there is a lot of optimism about what Liam Cohen and the Jaguars can do again here in 2026.
What's the plan for Travis Hunter this year? Is he going to be a cornerback? Is he going to be a wide receiver? Are they not really going to use him at either? Like, I thought they just mishandled all of it. He didn't play enough snaps to me really on either side of the football. What's the plan for him?
Well, he's going to do both. Yeah, for whatever reason, the national narrative got out there that he's not going to play offense anymore. I don't know why that was the case. He's going to play more defense than he did a year ago. But Carrington, I'll tell you, 2 weeks into camp, he's lining up at wide receiver as often as he's lining up in the secondary. So there will be a factor. But like I said, there's one football, right? And I'll tell you, this kid Parker Washington, who there weren't 5 receivers in the league in the month of December that were better than Parker Washington. If you black out the names, Parker Washington's worst game the last 5 weeks of the year last year was 87 yards and a touchdown. He had over 100 yards in every other game except that one. You combine him with Jacoby Myers, Brian Thomas Jr., Brenton Strange. There is only one football to go around, so they need Travis more on the defensive side of the ball, and that's where he's going to be. But there will certainly be packages for him on offense. I'm sure you've seen the photos that are going around. He's just bigger physically than he was a year ago, and he's heard the noise, right? He's heard the only played 7 games. He wasn't worth the number 2 overall pick, and you know, he's keeping receipts, as they say, and we'll ultimately see what happens with Travis Hunter this year.
Right now, we're talking to Ryan Green of 1010XL in Jacksonville, getting his thoughts on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Also, a little bit more about Emmanuel Ogbah. All right, let's talk about Emmanuel Ogbah, because the numbers make it seem like we're at the end of the road. You saw every snap of him last year. Do you think that's where we are?
Yeah. Look, I liked the signing when they made it. We've been looking for a third defensive end here in Jacksonville behind Joshua Hines-Allen and Trayvon Walker. And the thought when Ogbah came in last year is he could potentially be that third edge guy. But towards the end of the year, you did not know if he was going to dress on Sunday. He was a healthy scratch for a couple of games. A couple of the young guys here in Jacksonville, B.J. Green and Danny Strigow, started getting playing time over him. I know he's going back to Kansas City. Maybe that'll light a fire. But clearly Ogbah was never going to be in the plans to re-sign in Jacksonville. I think he had a half a sack last year. I think a fumble recovery or 2. I mean, he was a body to throw in there to eat up some snaps, but by no means was he a difference maker on the Jaguar defense a year ago.
Do you think he has any juice left in the tank? Do you think he can contribute? Do you think he can help a team?
I mean, it's tough, right? He's 32 years old, I believe. I mean, he's been around the block and then some as a defensive end. I think certainly you bring him in for a look. I wouldn't, venture to guess that he's going to get anywhere close to the production that he was doing when he was 24, 25, 26. Can he help a team as a third or fourth edge rusher? Yeah, potentially. But I don't think he's the guy or one of the guys any longer. I think he is a rotation guy at best at this point in his career.
That is our guy, Ryan Green, joining us on the show. Actually, you know what? I got one question, Ryan. Who do you think is the best team in the AFC right now?
Boy, but you just flip a coin on that one. Look, all the teams last year added somebody. You guys added Kenneth Walker, right? Denver added Jalen Waddle. Buffalo added DJ Moore. Houston added David Montgomery. New England added A.J. Brown. So everybody upgraded on offense seemingly except Jacksonville, who lost ETN because they were never going to pay him $14 million a year. So I'm not going to homer up here and say the Jaguars. But what I will say is if you look at the AFC in totality, I think your division is just brutal because I love what Denver does. I think Mike McDaniel in L.A. is going to be a difference maker for Herbert. Obviously, you're healthy with Mahomes, so that's going to be a tough division. Jacksonville and Houston are going to slug it out in the South. The North with Cincinnati and Baltimore and maybe Pittsburgh, and obviously the East with Buffalo and New England. I mean, Carrington, you could close your eyes and see 8 or 9 teams legitimately representing the AFC in the Super Bowl. But if you're going to pin me down here on August the 11th, I will say Denver, but I will tell you again, and save the tape if you like, don't sleep on this Jacksonville team, man. That's all I'm going to say.
It's like you've been listening to the show, Ryan. You said everything that I've been saying on this show for the last couple of weeks. The text line's been yelling at me. Someone wants to ask you if Brian Thomas is available in a trade. It's August 11th. I don't think the Jacksonville's trading their number 1 wide receiver, but the audience wants me to ask.
Brian Thomas Jr. was not available for trade in March, Carrington. He was not available for trade in April, May, or June, July, or August, and he won't be available for trade September, October, or November. I don't know why that is still a story, but Brian Thomas Jr. will be a Jacksonville Jaguar, and I think this passing attack, along with Parker Washington, Jacoby Myers, and Travis Hunter, will be one of the best in the National Football League.
That is our guy, Ryan Green, joining us on the show today, 1010XL in Jacksonville. Ryan, we'll catch up with you as the season gets going, my man. Appreciate your time.
Carrington, you're the man. Anytime, buddy.
Absolutely. That is Ryan Green joining us on the show today. I mean, I can already tell you that Chiefs fans are going to be clamoring to go make a deal for Brian Thomas in week 6 of the NFL season. You can see that coming a mile away. You can just already predict it. I don't really see a scenario in which the Chiefs are at a point where you guys are like, you know what? We don't need to make a move at the deadline. Like, I'm just going to guess they're going to make a move. I'm just going to go out and assume that you guys want them to make a move. There's only two places that realistically would make sense to go make a move. It's either wide receiver or pass rush. The 2 points on the team that we already know are issues. One of them will be an issue as the season progresses, and you'll want them to make a trade. We can all, come on now. We know this is about to happen, so. Brian Thomas is just, I do not think he is being traded. If he was going to be traded, he should have been traded close to the draft. You'd have got a second-round pick for him if that was going to happen. You're not getting a second-round pick for him now if you're trading Brian Thomas, if you're Jacksonville. So here's where we are. Rob, are you with me that we're going to be having trade conversations in about 2 months?
Yep, and as part of those conversations, people are going to suggest things that are just not going to happen. Brian Thomas is a name. I'm sure Marvin Harrison Jr.'s name will also pop up in 2 months. I don't think the Chiefs are making either of those moves, but that is an October conversation that we're just avoiding at this point.
Somebody said this guy is such a homer. That doesn't bother me, though. It kind of caught me. It kind of did catch me flat-footed when he says that he thinks they have the best wide receiver room in the league. I was like, really? Sometimes I just don't want to argue with the guests. I'm just like, hey, just your answer's your answer, but they might have the best wide receiver room they all got the best wide receiver room in their own division. I'd rather have Houston's room than have Jacksonville's room. They certainly don't have a better room than Cincinnati. They don't have a better room than New England.
Denver.
Is their room that much better than Kansas City's? Like, it's better, but is it that much better?
They have a 1,000-yard receiver. The Chiefs don't have that.
Well, they did. He just was in jail. He was locked up for a while. I'm serious. Do you think Brian Thomas is that much better than Rashee Rice?
Yes. Brian Thomas has been more productive in the NFL than Rashee Rice.
I agree with that, but I'm saying is like this season, whatever you project Brian Thomas to do, whatever you project Rashee Rice to do you think it's that far off in terms of numbers and production? No. I don't think it's that far off.
No, but I think the talent is more for Brian Thomas.
I'd rather have Brian Thomas. He's certainly a little bit more reliable, and he's had a little bit of a higher ceiling than I think he's had. But outside of the rest of that room, I'm telling you, you guys know how I feel about the Chiefs wide receiver room. I just don't feel like Jacksonville's room is just by far and away better than Kansas City's room. Their room's fine. I think we're over. And we're trying to hype you up on Parker Washington. That kind of tells me what I need to know about their room. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, I got a chance to be joined by Jeff Chadiha earlier today. He said something really, really interesting about the Chiefs that I never thought of. We'll talk about it. Keep it right here, so Drive.
You're listening to The Drive.
My man Carrington Harrison.
On Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, baseball fans. Think you know who's going to hit a homer today? Well, FanDuel's giving you a free chance to call your shot with daily dingers. Joining in on the action is easy. Just make your free pick on who's hitting a home run in their game, and if you're right, you'll get a profit boost to use on your next bet for a chance at even extra winnings. You've got nothing to lose, but you have a lot to gain. And you can make your free pick every day during the MLB season. It's just another way that FanDuel is your home for the home runs. Ready to play your game today? Join in on all the action at FanDuel.com/local. That's FanDuel.com/local to play daily dingers and make your free pick on who's hitting a homer. Swing for the fences on FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. No purchase necessary. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons. And lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen. And oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live. And you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty. If you're looking for a new job and to work for a great local company, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is hiring. Top pay in the industry, health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and advancement opportunities. Check them out at GannAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right. You pay what we pay on any in-stock tires from Telly's huge inventory. Our certified techs will even mount and balance them for only $30 per tire. All that plus a 30-day ride guarantee and lifetime tire protection. Gas and grocery prices may be going up, but there's never been a better time to buy tires. Reserve yours now at TELLEtire.com before our sale ends. Take care of your car. Take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
Whether you're commuting to work or heading out for a fast coffee break, getting an auto insurance quote is just a tap away. With AAA, you're always connected, so you can focus on the road ahead. Rest easy knowing AAA's got you covered, no matter where life takes you. AAA, we're always with you. To start your quote, visit AAA.com/insurance. Insurance provided to qualified AAA members by Automobile Club Inter-Insurance Exchange and AAA affiliate insurers. Membership requires a separate payment.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at adventhealthchampionship.com.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like head administrator for a state-of-the-art surgical center.
What can I do for you, Doc?
We need to talk about the lights.
Ah, the mood lighting, relaxing, right? Much better than those old hospital vibes.
A hospital's supposed to have hospital vibes.
You seem tense. Let's dim the lights a bit.
This is your job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
This report is brought to you by CM Mose & Son, HVAC, Plumbing, and Electrical Services. CMMoseandSon.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Mose & Son. Putting off fixing electrical problems in your home can be a real hazard. Visit CMMoseandSon.com to take care of your electrical problems today. CM Mose & Son. License 202058.
Tune in for the Fan Club Fridays at 1 o'clock with Cody and Gold, presented by Circus Sports. Want your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes? Enter one of Circus Sports' premier football contests. Visit circusports.com for details. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the car crash kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law, headed east on 50. You've got a broken down box truck blocking the left lane as you approach a 291. Okay, crash 435 northbound. It's the exit ramp right lane blocked at 78 Highway or so 23rd. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, came busy traffic.
Welcome to your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan.
Rob, I'm always intrigued by the differences in our job than other people's job. I mean, I've only worked in one building, so I can't really comment. I can't really speak to it. I can only live through other people's stories and those things. I saw a tweet that said corporate jobs are just 95% saying that sounds good to ideas that you think sound awful. You are a little bit more in the corporate space than I am. I would say that you, Inspector, do a really good job, and I also do a really good job. I just focus on doing the radio show. You know, that's my main responsibility, is to do the radio show. And you, Inspector, will handle all the other things that come with allowing me to do the radio show. So you have to do much more of the corporate America things than I have to do. Is this an accurate statement? Is that what your job is like when you're not with me? It's saying sounds good to ideas that sound awful.
I don't know it's as high a percentage, but there are definitely times where I get an email. It's like, we're going to do this. And I'm like, got you. And I'm thinking to myself, that's short-lived, but okay, that's the job.
I will say this, and this is maybe related, this is maybe unrelated. Anytime somebody says, hey, it would be great if you guys did this on a show, 6% of the time it's a good idea. Most of the time it's either a bad idea or it's an idea or a topic that we've already discussed before. Very rarely does somebody come up to you, they recognize who I am, whether it's on TV or the radio, like, oh, hey, you guys should do this on the show. I'm like, man, you know what? That's a really, really good topic. We'll do that tomorrow. Like, I keep a running note. Like, I save these things. When people tell me ideas, I save them because you never know when inspiration is going to hit. Doesn't happen a whole lot. The text line shoots a pretty decent percentage, but it's so many ideas at one time. I can find the ideas that I really like and think that are good for the show. I can't do that in line at Chipotle. We're gonna have this conversation. We should talk about, oh yeah, no, I will say that. But most of the time I'm thinking, I will never think about this again. This is the end of me thinking about this.
That's funny you get that. Maybe this is unique to me. I get what do you actually think? What? Do you think I just lie up here? Do you think I just do this as a bit?
I used to get that a lot, and then I just started answering the same way. I don't have any secret thoughts about the Chiefs or the Royals that I don't share with you guys. I really don't. Now, there are certain things that might happen that we can't speak on.
But I'm also not telling the guy in Chipotle like that.
But when it comes to on the field and how they perform, yeah, I don't have any secret thoughts. Everything I tell you is exactly how I feel about the team. Every single time. Now, they might tell us we're going to get an interview and then we don't actually get the interview. Or they might tell us that the interview is going to be at this time and it really was 5 hours later than that and you guys just don't need to know that information. But, yeah, no, there's not a time in which, like, I don't secretly think the Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl and then painting it like I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl. No, if I thought so, I would tell you.
It is the funniest thing that happened. People are like, hey, I heard this on the show. That I heard you said you're kind of down on Rashee Rice. But what do you actually think? I'm down on Rashee Rice.
Yeah, I'm down
what
on him.
What I think is what I said. Like, I get paid to give an opinion, not secret thoughts that I keep to myself. No, what I say is what I think. That, or I get, hey, what is Carrington like in real life? I'm like, very similar to the radio show. It's not a character. That's his personality.
Let me ask you this, Rob, because I don't know how you're going to answer this question. Let's remove coach and quarterback. Let's remove those two things. What are you most optimistic about this year? Because I was trying to think of this and how I would answer the question. I'm optimistic about Kenneth Walker. I know you, Rob, you're not optimistic about Kenneth Walker. So I think a lot of the text lines believe we have the coach, we have the quarterback, we will figure out the rest. I also think that the text line feels you now add a run game to Patrick Mahomes. It opens things up that their offense is about to be unleashed is how I think the text line feels. And that's perfectly fine. But you don't feel that way about the run game. So I would say maybe the number one thing to be hopeful about or optimistic about, you can't share in any of that optimism. As we are a couple of days away from their first day of training camp, let's remove Andy. Let's remove Patrick Mahomes. What is Rob Britton most excited about? What is Rob Britton most hopeful about with the Kansas City Chiefs?
Youth experiment on defense. It was Mitch Holthus who said this. I know it was Mitch Holthus. He's on this show, talks about how it was after the season. It honestly may have been after like the Thanksgiving game. But I remember Mitch Holthus was on the show. And he talked about one thing the Chiefs defense needs to do is be more like Seattle. They just have guys at every level who can make plays. They have pass rushers. They have depth. They have all of the stuff. I don't know that Brett Veach was listening that day. I don't know that Mitch Holthus sat down with Brett Veach. I don't know what happened. But that's what they're doing on defense, and that is exciting. They have a new look secondary. They have a new cornerback 1, a new cornerback 2, a new safety. Might be 2 new safeties if Connor's going to start over Hicks. They're trying all sorts of new on the defensive line. I have my questions about it. They have new defensive tackles. Their plan is, we saw what Seattle did. Let's try to emulate that. So the youth experiment on defense, what I'm excited about, and I, for one, I cannot speak for anyone else. When they have growing pains, and they will as a defense, if there is a drive or a series or a game where Bo Nix or Daniel Jones or someone early in the season is carving them up, it is not going to be a 5-alarm fire on this side of the glass because I know the growing pains are coming. So my answer is the youth movement on defense.
Yeah, I have a really, really good analogy that I'll share at the top of the hour. I think it's really strong. Maybe the best one I've had all year. I just thought about it. I wrote it down. We'll talk about it coming up at the top. That's interesting that you feel that way about it because I would argue after Chris Jones, their second best defensive player is at a position that you don't like.
I don't think the person who thinks their second best defender is actually their second best defender.
Who do you think it is?
Monsoor Delane.
Oh, wow.
And then I think Peter Woods
we're saying that we've never seen him play a game before. I'm not saying he cannot be. I'm just saying because we're going into the season that it's Chris Jones number 1, Mansour Delane number 2. You're already putting him ahead of Nick Bolton. You're already putting him ahead of George Karlaftis, even though he's never played.
I think Delane, Woods, and Karlaftis, I think 2 of those 3 are definitely above who you think the second best player on their defense is.
Okay. All right. Interesting.
I also think he quietly might be the
What are you hopeful about on offense?
I mean, big explosive plays from Mahomes.
Okay.
New offensive coordinator. They clearly they have to have seen it. I know everyone's like focused on the run game, but his deep ball was absolutely tragic last year. They have to find a way to get that back.
With who?
I don't know the answer.
I hear
to that
what you're
question.
saying. I'm not saying that you're wrong, and I'm not even like trying to really push back on the take. I'm just saying yes, I'm with you. Their deep ball accuracy was bad last year. They bring back all of the same wide receivers. So I'm not super hopeful that the deep ball with Xavier Worthy is going to be unlocked this year. The text line seems to be hopeful about it. Chad O'Shea is going to come in here, and a guy who we did not know his name 6 months ago is now going to come in here and solve the cheat. Okay, all right, cool. Hey, I'm with you if that's the case. I don't think they're solving that issue with Xavier Worthy.
I don't think it's a talent issue. I think it's a Patrick Mahomes issue. Because I saw him complete deep passes to MVS. Not the best player in the world. I saw him make Justin Watson a deep threat. Does anyone even know where he is in the NFL anymore? Like, I'm not saying those guys are stars, but I saw him make rookie year average depth of target for McCole Hardman viable. It wasn't just jet sweeps off the jump. So I think it is a Patrick Mahomes problem, and I think he's aware of it, and I think they're going to fix it.
Okay. It does kind of amuse me. This might be a little bit of hate on my part, and I can admit that. Like, the text lines kind of turned Chad O'Shea into Dave Duncan all of a sudden.
Oh, he's who was the guy in the Cardinals?
Dave Duncan, yeah.
No, who's the Braves guy? Sorry, the other
Leo Mazzone.
Leo Mazzone, yeah.
That's what it is. The text line has they've turned Chad O'Shea into Leo Mazzone. That's what they've done over the last. Like, okay, all right, that guy's coming in here and he's fixing this wide receiver room. Like, all right, I'm with it. Okay, let's get it. It's August. It's time for optimism. Rob, I think I might have the perfect analogy to tell you how I feel about the Chiefs defense. We'll talk about it next. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
Your home for all things Chiefs football and Royals baseball.
I'm a professional complainer.
Is The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by DM Injury Law, headed east on 50. You've got a broken down box truck blocking the left lane as you approach a 291. Okay, crash 435 northbound. It's the exit ramp right lane blocked at 78 Highway or so 23rd. From the Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, Electric Traffic Center, I'm Val, KBC Traffic.
This report is brought to you by Go Car Wash. It's your time to go shine.
For limited time at Go Car Wash, mention radio and get any wash for just $5. Yep, any wash. That's up to 80% off our best wash. Visit Go Car Wash today. It's your time to go shine.
Yo, it's Jay Uso from WWE, and I'm Jimmy Uso. Chumba Casino and WWE are hyped for the biggest event of the summer, SummerSlam. I know, I can't wait. There's nothing better to do while we're waiting than playing Chumba Casino. Sign up today and you could win a VIP experience with Chumba Casino and WWE for SummerSlam. So what are you waiting for? Play Chumba Casino and enter for your chance to win. Let's Chumba. Yeah.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in a state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Look, let's be real for a second. When it comes to performance, good just isn't good enough, just like the teams that we cheer for, and that's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar for you. Introducing Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes, so there's less waiting, more confidence, and a whole new level of readiness. And I've told you before, confidence is key. You know it the same as I do. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew. Now, with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. It's not just about function anymore. It's about total performance, both physical and mental. They're turning bedroom performance into an Olympic sport, so go for gold. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
At Farmers, our honesty is contagious.
Wait, am I going to catch honesty?
Well, when you're with Farmers, it's kind of inevitable.
Well, how long does it take to... I lied to you when you asked if I knew what a deductible was. I don't know my dad's birthday, and I thought umbrella policies were for rainstorms. Actual rainstorms. I have it, don't I?
You don't just have honesty.
You have Farmers. Bum, ba, bum, 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 bum.
Learn more at farmers.com. Underwritten by Farmers Truck or Fire Insurance Exchanges or Affiliate. Products not available in every state.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name. And the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
A cancer diagnosis is overwhelming. Choosing the right treatment shouldn't be. If you've been diagnosed with breast, head and neck, or prostate cancer, before you decide, you have options. At Kansas City Proton Institute, we're delivering the future of cancer care. Proton therapy offers increased precision, protecting healthy tissue as compared to standard radiation. If you've been diagnosed, don't wait. Get your second opinion today and see KC's largest, most experienced proton therapy team. Visit kcpi.com. Kansas City Proton Institute, where you see the best in KC.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
Paid for, client portrayal, and endorsement. Choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
After my car wreck, there was a lot I didn't know.
I do know. If you've been hurt in a car wreck, call me. I've got this.
Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Tune into the Chiefs' first preseason game against the Rams, Saturday, August 15th with pregame at 2 and kickoff at 3. Right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
All right. I want to read this to you guys. I know it sounds like I'm picking on Xavier Worthy. I'm really not. This is a genuine question to me. We were talking about Patrick Mahomes and deep balls and pass catching things. Some guy texted in, wide receiver wasn't a deep ball problem. It was all Mahomes last year, and Xavier Worthy isn't a deep ball kind of receiver. I then replied and said, well, what kind of receiver do you think he is? He then said he's a 10 to 15 yard down the middle of the field. Crossers, slants, curls. He can go deep, but that's more for show. Just because you're fast doesn't mean that you are a deep ball receiver. 100%. I also don't think that Xavier Worthy is a 10 to 15 operate in the middle of the field kind of receiver either. The numbers just don't really suggest that. I gave you guys the stat yesterday. Xavier Worthy's rookie year. So the best year that he's had so far in this season. He had 59 catches. 53 of those catches either happened behind the line of scrimmage or within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. He was not a big down the field guy. Last year, when they threw the ball to Xavier Worthy, he caught the ball about 58% of the time that the ball was thrown in his direction last season. So I don't honestly know what kind of receiver Xavier Worthy is at this point in his career, which leads to a lot of the questions that I have for him. He's not really a make a guy miss for out as fast as he was at the combine. He's not really a run past you, make a deep play kind of guy. He's not really a go catch the ball at a high point. He's not really a guy that you expect to make a really difficult catch, 3rd and 7, tough, physical, move the chains kind of receiver. I don't have a good answer on what kind of receiver Xavier Worthy is at this stage in his career, which kind of leads to the problems that I think this wide receiver room has. How would you describe it, Rob? What kind of receiver do you think Xavier Worthy is right now as we're heading into year 3?
Jet sweep guy? I mean, it's we used to have a term for it in Kansas City. Who's jet sweep guy? He is tunnel screens, reverses. He is just find a way to get him the ball in space. But I think that is a product of scheme, not his ability. So the short version is he's jet sweep guy.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now, and the guy just says right here, Rice is your short and run guy, also a deep guy. He can track and really go get it. Worthy is your short to middle guy. Thornton is your deep guy. Xavier Worthy isn't even a middle of the field guy. Like, the numbers just don't suggest that. I know what our projection is of what Xavier Worthy is supposed to be. I think he is a screenplay, quick, try to get him the ball in space, and hopefully he can make a guy miss. I don't think that a role has been established of what kind he is. Last year, for example, his average depth of target was around 12 yards last year. I think he's more of a closer to the line of scrimmage kind of guy. I don't know if they've really figured out what a role for him is. Like you mentioned, gadget player. He just wasn't healthy enough last year to be that guy. He had 11 carries last year. Now, a lot of that I think was injury related, and they wanted to protect his shoulder. So you're not giving that guy a huge volume of carries and using him a little bit more like Deebo Samuel. But he wasn't a gadget guy for them last year. He didn't get enough opportunities last year to be that kind of gadget guy. I would also guess this year they won't really do it because he's already dealing with the shoulder injury. So I don't know how many of those plays. I also don't know if you need him to because their run game is going to be so much better. If they want a gadget guy, give those carries to Emmett Johnson. If you want a gadget guy, try to get Cyrus Allen involved in the offense. Like, this needs to be developing Xavier Worthy to be a solid number 2 receiver that you can rely and depend on. That would be in the best interest of this organization.
Is the answer to what Xavier Worthy is what Kadarius Toney was in Kansas City? Now, or I guess what he was over his first year, the 7-game sample size, not the second year when it was over. But in 7 games, it was 17 targets, 14 catches, 171, 12 yards a catch for Kadarius Toney, about 25 yards a game. They found a way to get him the ball from the line of scrimmage. I know that the numbers never extrapolated out for Kadarius Toney, but I think the way they used Kadarius Toney in 2022 is the way they are trying to use Xavier Worthy. It's a bad analogy because the player wasn't good, but I think Kadarius Toney is actually the answer.
Yeah, I think for me, and someone on the text line says he reminds me of Devontae Smith. He's not close to Devontae Smith. I mean, I've told you guys this before in the past. I think the best case scenario for him to turn out to who he can be is Rashid Shaheed from the Seattle Seahawks. If they can get him to be that kind of receiver, I think he has tremendous value of what he can be. Tremendous value. Shaheed in 2023 had 46 catches for 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. Last year, he had 59 catches for 687 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he was a clear difference maker in Seattle for them last year and was a dynamic special teams player. They're about the same size. Shaheed is 6 foot, 180 pounds. He's 27 years old, so he's a little bit older than what Xavier Worthy can be. If Xavier Worthy can be Shaheed, there's a clear place for him in the National Football League with a defined role as being a number 2, number 3 receiver on a team that's a dynamic, game-changing, game bust-open plays kind of guy. Shaheed also not really a gadget guy. Only had 7 carries last year, but he's one of the best kick returner and punt returners in the league.
I do think they need to find. I think part of the thought with Xavier Worthy was he can be a special teamer. He has not done anything on special teams in Kansas City. Like, I remember one of the pros of his speed was he can just do so much. That's not what he's done in Kansas City. Like, maybe the answer to our question of what is Xavier Worthy as a wide receiver, do we think the Chiefs know what he is? Because some of the text line makes this point. Guys, did you watch him at Texas? What you're describing is not how he was used at Texas. Then why aren't the Chiefs using him the way he was used at Texas? Because somewhere there is a disconnect. The guy at Texas, the guy the Chiefs use, and how they've used him, and how the text line thinks they should use him are three different people. Why? I don't know if it's Worthy, the coach, something is not clicking somewhere because his role is very undefined in year 3.
Yeah, I mean, some of it was his volume. I mean, he had 75 catches his last year at Texas. Like, he was a dynamic player for them that last season. He was a really, really dynamic player. Someone on the text line says, "C. Worthy catches the ball. Don't disrespect him like that." I'm just reading you the numbers. When the Chiefs threw the ball to Xavier Worthy last year, when they threw it in his direction, it was a completion 58% of the time. You can be mad at me. I'm just relaying the math to you of what happened last year. When they threw the ball in his direction, it was a completion 58% of the time. So he was not a super reliable player for them offensively last season. Now, can he be this year? Is the addition of Kenneth Walker going to switch things up for them a little bit? You're now going to have Rice on the other side consistently. Is that going to open things up for you and take away some attention? Sure. The biggest thing for me with Xavier Worthy is just going to be he has to do a better job of taking advantage of one-on-one opportunities. Like, with his speed, it should be a mismatch. If the Chiefs' offense operates at maximum capacity, you cannot cover everybody. I think Rashee Rice is a good wide receiver. You got a top 10 running back in the National Football League. You got a tight end that takes up a lot of space and a lot of attention in the middle of the field. There are going to be one-on-one opportunities with Xavier Worthy. You either got to be a much better route runner with a better understanding of the sideline and just better field awareness, or when you get one-on-one opportunities down the field, you just got to be better at making those plays and coming up with those. You don't get an infinite amount of those over the course of the game. You get 2, maybe 3 down the field, one-on-one. It's you and a safety. You got to make those plays more consistently than he's made so far in his career.
There was a time where the thought was if he can just keep his feet in bounds, he'll be exactly what you were talking about. Because I remember we had the circle of trust in 2024, and I said I wouldn't have Xavier Worthy in my circle of trust. After the Bills game, where he should have caught a touchdown, but just couldn't keep his feet in bounds. I said he's outside the circle of trust. The thought was if he just cleans that up, there is a next level. He has never hit that next level. So what you're describing, I think he has shown flashes of being that guy. It has just never been consistent in Kansas City.
Yeah, text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, you're still thinking of Devontae Smith as the Alabama Heisman Trophy winner. Devontae's the same size, little to no touchdown production, barely over 1,000 yards every single year. I would say that you're just wrong on Devontae Smith. I would say Devontae Smith's per season average as a wide receiver in the National Football League, 77 catches, 1,000 yards, and 6 touchdown passes. That's what we think Xavier Worthy's been with the Kansas City Chiefs? If that's what Xavier Worthy's been with the Chiefs, we wouldn't be having these questions about the wide receiver room. He has not been Devontae Smith at all. Not even a little bit of Devontae Smith. Not a portion of it. Devontae Smith has never had fewer than 800 yards in the National Football League. Now, he's played with A.J. Brown for sure. He also had a significantly worse quarterback than what I think the Chiefs have at quarterback. Yeah, he has not been Devontae Smith. Yeah, they might be the same size. You have not gotten nearly the level of production from Xavier Worthy that you've gotten from Devontae Smith. So, no, they're not comparable to me.
I would actually say what Smith is doing is more impressive because he's putting up 1,000 yards a year on average while never being the primary pass catcher. Like, Xavier Worthy is putting up 600 yards a year while being not the primary pass catcher. Devontae Smith, I can't believe this conversation. He is better than Xavier Worthy by a wide margin.
Yeah, text line 913-586. You're cooking a second-year guy. I guess maybe where I am with Xavier Worthy, and I guess it's just, it's different. Like, I think I don't know if there's a player on the team that I feel more strongly on the opposite side of right now than I think how people feel about Xavier Worthy. I just don't really know what he is at this point in his career. He hasn't been a big play guy. He's not a tough contested guy. Nobody thinks he's just a route demon. Like, he's not just going to be one-on-one on the outside. You can't cover that guy. I don't know what Xavier Worthy is heading into year 3, and I will continue to maintain if you feel pessimistic about the Chiefs wide receiver room, that is an indictment on how you feel about Xavier Worthy. And I'm just not super high on their wide receiver room. I think Rice is going to be decent this season. The Chiefs didn't really show me that they used Tyquan Thornton a lot. The last 2 months of the season last year, Tyquan Thornton got 12 targets for their final 9 games. 12 targets in 9 games for Tyquan Thornton. So I don't really know how they're going to use him this upcoming season. Cyrus Allen, let's see what he can potentially do. Maybe he surprises you a little bit. And Xavier Worthy, I think Xavier Worthy probably gets somewhere between 650 and 700 yards this season. Somewhere in that range. Like, if we're comparing him to Devontae Smith, I think he's closer to Khalil Shakir. I think he's a little bit lesser version of that, which I think you could live with that if that's what he is this year. If he turns out to be Khalil Shakir, I think you got something there. That's a productive player, but that's my issue with Xavier Worthy. I know exactly what Rashee Rice is at this point. I think you also know what Tyquan Thornton is. They used Tyquan Thornton last year as a home run swing guy. I don't think they know what Xavier Worthy is heading into the season.
This is why I said I don't even have an answer to that question. And there is a disconnect somewhere. Because, listen, I was someone who a year ago was buying Xavier Worthy stock. I thought he could take the next step. He didn't. I mean, injury, whatever. I'm not going to make an excuse for him. He did not take the next step. It feels like they don't know what to do with him. And he just is kind of stuck in no man's land because he's not. They don't really have a go get 15 yards guy, and they don't really need him to be the line of scrimmage guy because they have Rashee Rice. So I don't know the Chiefs know what to do with him, which puts him in absolute no man's land.
Yeah, and I understand the complaints about the argument about health. I certainly get that argument about health. He's hurt now. He's hurt now. They haven't started tackling people yet. We're not even tackling guys yet. He's hurt today. He's 5 foot, 175 pounds soaking wet. I don't know if that holds up over the course of the season. He might deal with injuries again. He's been dealing with an injury now for almost a calendar year of it with Xavier Worthy. So at least that's where I am with Xavier Worthy. Rob, I do want to make this analogy about the Chiefs, and you tell me if you think it's a bad analogy. I think you'll like this one. I think it's very, very strong. Do you know how whenever HBO announces a show, you might not know who's in the show, but the fact that HBO makes a show just gives you a lot of confidence that the show's going to be good? Like, I don't really watch a whole lot of hospital dramas, but I watched The Pit solely because it came on HBO. I would not have watched The Pit had it come on FX. I would not have watched The Pit had it come on NBC. But you told me that HBO was making this show. I'm like, I'll give it a chance. The Chiefs don't have one single proven starter in their secondary. Not a one. Not at safety, not at corner. They do not have a single proven starter in their secondary. I don't know, man. I just think it's going to work. I know in years past, I've been skeptical about their cornerback room and think they needed to make a move. Heading into this year, I just have such a confidence knowing what network it's on. You got Steve Spagnuolo and you got Dave Merritt. So albeit I don't know anybody in this cast. Rob, when I watched The Pit, I'd never seen any of these people before. I never saw Dr. Rabinovich. I never saw any of these other people before. But I was like, hey, you know what? HBO made this show. I'm willing to give it a chance. It's probably going to be good. I watched it. It was good. So we can speculate on what we think guys are going to be. Noah Williams, I think you and I both think he's going to be very good. He played less than 50% of the snaps last year. He played a little bit less than what Josh Simmons played last year. Did not play a whole lot of football. I'm pretty confident it's going to work out. You got Snead. Snead's not practicing right now. Shockingly enough, L'Jarius Snead is injured. I don't know. It's just going to work. Kader Kohu didn't play at all last season. Chamari Connor, barbecue chicken alert. Like, there's reasons to have questions about their secondary. I don't know, man. I just think it's going to work. I can't really explain to you why it's going to work other than Spags and Dave Merritt are the ones producing it. They're the executive producers. You know when you watch a movie and they tell you the director, like the director of 300, like, oh, okay, all right, if you made that movie, this movie might actually be kind of good. I'll give it a chance. That's how I feel about the Chiefs secondary. If this was any other team, I'd be very, very worried about their secondary. I'd be terrified about their secondary, that they are relying on a rookie who isn't practicing fully yet and a guy who played less than 50% of their snaps last year and two guys who were not healthy enough last year in the National Football League. I got a lot of confidence it's going to work out because I've seen a lot of their other shows and they work.
That's an incredible analogy because the Chiefs have proved it. Everyone points to 2022, and I will join the obvious answer. I do not mean this to run you down. You were someone in 2022 that was saying, get a veteran, get a veteran, get a veteran. Now, you wanted James Bradbury, so I'll give you credit. He was an all-pro that year.
But to be fair, though, and to continue with the analogy, you had to make The Sopranos and then make The Wire and then make Game of Thrones and then make all these other shows. So now when you tell me, hey, there's a show Industry that's out, I don't know anything about Industry, but you're telling me HBO's on and they're putting it Sunday at 7 o'clock? Oh, HBO must think it's a really good show. So I'm with you. I had to go through all of those experiences in 2022 to now get here where I'm like, oh, I'll try this new miniseries that you guys have out. So the reason I feel so confident in 2026 about their cornerback room is I was not confident when they had this exact same plan a presidential cycle ago.
I mean, we saw this manifest itself in the offseason. I was someone who would have paid Trent McDuffie. I think Trent McDuffie is one of the top 5 corners in the NFL. Like, both The Athletic and ESPN agree. He's one of the top 5 to 7 corners in the NFL. The Chiefs traded him. No one batted an eye. Yep, we're good. We'll be fine. I'm not worried. I'm not worried at all. So the Chiefs just continue to churn to that position. So it is total faith in everyone over there. I have concerns about the pass rush, which might expose the secondary, but I feel like they're going to have a good secondary because they always seem to have a good secondary.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going into it very confidently.
I also do it to your point about TV shows. It's a new cast every time.
Every time.
It's not like, how some directors are like, oh, we're all like, they're always going to have this person in my movie. Like Scorsese's always going to have a De Niro in his movie. You're like, oh, well, I trust those two. It is always a new cast of characters. Sometimes it's Tyrann Mathieu. Sometimes it's Justin Reed. Sometimes now it's Aloy Gilman. I got faith. It's going to work.
100%. You know who Steve Spagnuolo is? He's Dick Wolf. That's who he is. Like, if you tell me Dick Wolf's making the show, I'll watch it. I don't care. New York, Chicago, Fire. I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure I'll enjoy it.
You're thinking too small. He's Christopher Nolan. Think topically. Christopher Nolan.
He's Christopher Nolan. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Does Christopher Nolan have a big miss? Not really.
Tenet's not a big miss?
Tenet's probably still. If it's Tenet's big miss, then he has no misses.
Okay, I was just asking. That's why I was asking. I didn't know. If you were counting Tenet as not a big miss.
Tenet's not a big miss. Tenet's fine.
Is it a hit?
If you're telling me the lowest of lows is it's fine, yeah, it works.
Okay, I just wanted to know. He's Christopher Nolan. I liked my HBO now. I thought my HBO analogy was good.
Your HBO analogy was great.
I just came up with that one on the fly, so I thought, you know what, this one feels good. I think everyone will follow this. What's the HBO show people are watching now that House of the Dragon is over? What are we getting ready for with HBO?
That's a good question. I know Lanterns is coming up, but that's very much in my nerd bag.
Is this the second season of Lanterns?
No, it's season 1. It's all about the Green Lantern.
When are they bringing back True Detective? Are we ever bringing back True Detective? The last one I watched with Jodie Foster. That was a good one.
I didn't watch the Jodie Foster one. It had Vince Vaughn one vibes.
That was terrible.
Wasn't there aliens in it? It had
that one was not good. I'm not going to tell you. That one was bad. That was bad. I'm here to tell you that one was bad. It's one on the text line. Hold on. I'm going to read this real quick. Hold on. Carrington, why don't you ever look at the entire picture? Mahomes had a career sack hurry last year. Simmons out, Rice out, Worthy injured, Trey Smith out. The O-line was patchwork, no running game at best. I can't wait till midseason. The Chiefs are lighting up the league with that D-line. Can't wait to say I told you so. You picked them 10-7. No playoffs. I never said they're not making the playoffs. A lot of those stuff is true. I never said the Chiefs were missing the playoffs. I picked them to make the playoffs. I said they're not going to the Super Bowl. I would just say, I know you guys get mad when I say this, they still kind of have a lot of these same questions right now with the team. Rice out. Rice not practicing. Worthy injured. Didn't practice today. Trey Smith dealing with an injury. Not practicing today. A lot of the same issues they had toward the end of the season, they currently have right now with the team. All is not fixed with Kansas City after the offseason. They still got a lot of question marks heading into the season. They have a lot more question marks than they usually have at this time of the season. They got a lot more question marks than they usually have. So I never said the Chiefs were missing the playoffs. I'm picking them to make the playoffs. I don't think they're winning the division. That's a little different. So I at least want to clarify. If you're going to be mad at me, at least be mad at me for what I actually said. So let's not attribute fake quotes to me.
I mean, we're not got to the point of the offseason or the preseason or the season where we make our picks. I feel like 10-7, 11-6 is kind of where most people are going to have them. Or at least most pundits, maybe not the text line. They have them 17-0, but I can't believe 10-7 is like an insult, a slap in their face.
I honestly think this might be like to keep with the pop culture analogy, and I do want to play for you guys what Jeff Chidia had to have. I think this might at least be where I am with Kansas City. They were a legacy artist that made some of the greatest music that we had ever heard. And the last couple albums, I haven't really liked. I haven't been a big fan of the last couple of Chiefs albums. Now we're heading into a new album. I'm certainly going into it like, hey, that's still T.I. That's still Young Jeezy. Like, all right, I don't think I'm going to hate the album, but you got to show me you can still make another hit record. At least that's where I am with the Chiefs. I notice a lot of you guys are not with the Chiefs anymore. Like, you think they're going to get back to right back top of the charts, and that's just not where I am today with Kansas City. Like, I know what you did in the past. Yeah, you tremendous. Hey, your first album went diamond. This album single, everybody had it as a ringtone. Hey, your last couple of singles flopped. Your last album went double wood last season. You got to show me that you can still make hits and that you're still one of those kinds of musicians. That's where I am with the Chiefs. Because I saw the Broncos' last album. It was good. The Patriots' last album, very good. Buffalo's didn't go platinum, but it had a couple of songs on there. It had a couple of songs that I liked on that one. Chiefs' last couple albums have not hit. They have not worked at all in my mind. So that's just where I am with the Chiefs. That's the best way of describing it.
And I feel like that's where most people are. Are you still, like, we phrase it this way sometimes on the show, are the Chiefs still the Chiefs? 2026 will be the answer. Because in 2025, they weren't. They were dog water. They were bad. But are the Chiefs still the Chiefs is the overarching question for the team.
Someone says, you're saying the Chiefs are like Eminem. Yeah, I need them to make Recovery. Like, I thought it was over for Eminem. It looked real bad when he made the Relapse album. He then came back with Not Afraid. I'm like, that's the Eminem that's what I'm talking about. Perfect. I love Not Afraid. The Recovery album is actually a really good album, but for those who listen to Eminem, you know the point that I'm making.
Is that because Rihanna's so heavily featured on it?
Yeah, The Monster, all of those songs. Yeah, you got to get back to Love the Way You Lie for sure. Yeah, you got to get back to that. Yeah, you had Slim Shady. You had all of those songs at the very beginning. Yeah, I need you to make the Recovery album. Can you still make that album? Can you now make American Gangster? I heard you make Black Album. That's great. I heard Kingdom Come. I didn't like it. I was not a fan. That was a skip for me. So that's where I want to see what the Chiefs can do and how they can bounce back. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with prominent Mizzou fan Carrington Harrison.
I support Kansas. I want Kansas to win.
On 96.5, The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circus Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circus Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circus Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circusports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolaids spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
Men, if your energy is down, your workouts aren't producing results, you're gaining stubborn weight, losing muscle, sleeping poorly, or just not feeling like yourself anymore, it may be more than just aging. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health. Our low T and body composition treatments are designed to help men regain energy, improve focus, sleep better, build lean muscle, reduce unwanted fat, and restore confidence both in and out of the gym. At Heartland Men's Health, we specialize in helping men optimize their health, performance, and vitality using personalized medical treatments tailored to your health and goals, many men begin noticing improvements in energy, mental clarity, recovery, motivation, libido, and overall body composition within just a few weeks. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work, PSA and T-test, and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Big hits get even bigger with Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel. Customers choose their own reward every Tuesday to use on MLB bets. So how will you play your game? Option 1, the bet reset. You can use this on your wager and you'll get refunded in bonus bets if your bet loses. Option 2, a 50% profit boost. Make your bet, activate the profit boost, and if it hits, that's extra winnings at no extra cost. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use on your next MLB bet. Maybe you want to take a look at the first inning over-under tab on the FanDuel app, or alternate strikeouts, or some of my favorites, yes, no runs in the first inning. You name it, you can do it over at FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to choose your reward for MLB bets every Dinger Tuesday. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and over in present Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Having unexpected car trouble or just in a car accident? Call Jay Southland Tow Service, 816-779-4869 or southlandtow.com. Use the tow service trusted by most local police departments. They can do it all. Be in the know and call Jay's Southland Tow.
What if the thing you're listening to right now never got interrupted? What if it could play uninterrupted from room to room on Sonos? What if you start with 2 Sonos speakers just to see how it feels? What if you really like how it feels and you become a Sonos person who can't stop saying to their friends, what if you start with 2 Sonos speakers just to see how it feels? Because it's not magic, but it's not magic.
T-Mobile is launching something no other wireless network offers. Introducing Nothing. Pay nothing today and walk out of the store with a new phone.
What did he say?
Nothing.
You definitely said something about nothing.
Exactly. Go to T-Mobile, pay nothing up front, and leave with a new phone.
Wait, nothing rules.
She gets it.
Hey, thanks for nothing.
For the first time ever, switch to T-Mobile, pay nothing. No taxes, no fees, no money down. And walk out with a new phone. There are 250 reasons to choose T-Mobile, and now nothing is holding you back.
On eligible devices with qualifying credit plan and 36-month finance agreement.
Hey, it's Brew, and I feel like everything in my life depends on being connected. Whether I'm uploading a video, hopping on a call before my show, or video chatting with my family back in Michigan, I never have to think about my Wi-Fi. And that's why Xfinity stands out. You get the most reliable, fiber-powered Wi-Fi with the best equipment at one price for 5 years guaranteed. No contracts or commitments. Plus, you can get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Use of fiber or coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi. Xfinity, imagine that.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/team. That's ZipRecruiter.com/team.
ZipRecruiter. When it's time for a new water heater, trust the team that's been serving Kansas City for 75 years. For a limited time, buy a water heater and get a water filter 50% off. Schedule today at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
This one brought to you by Anthony Plumbing. Hot water is something you rely on every day. So if your water heater is showing signs of age or struggling to keep up, now's the time to make the switch. Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. 75 years they've been helping keep Kansas Cityans comfortable. AnthonyPHCE.com. Okay, we've got the crash that is still working, and I am seeing a lot of red, a lot of backup. 70 eastbound as you approach Missouri. Okay, 7 south, Blue Springs. And, okay, yep, scoot to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Trey Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to the Drive with CDOT on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, Rob, can I tell you 3 NFL bets that I really like right now. As we're just getting early, we're just getting started. I haven't made all my official predictions yet, but I do have 3 bets that I really like that I plan on placing heading into the season. Are you ready for these?
I'm ready.
Well, I've already told you, number 1, it is San Francisco to miss the playoffs at plus 116. There has not been a single story about San Francisco in the last 90 days that makes me feel good. Not a head coach, not a quarterback. Their wide receiver room is Christian Kirk, Mike Evans, and Deebo Samuel in 2026. That sounds like a problem. Their division is tough. There's not a single story I've heard where I'm like, you know what, man? I feel good about San Francisco. Rob, you know what you and I hate? We hate noisy when it comes to the National Football League. We absolutely despise it in the offseason. Stay far away from the teams that are constantly in the news, and it's not for good things. I'm staying away from it.
Their coach is noisy too. He had a weird offseason. He had that car accident. Yeah, I'm with you on the Niners. That's yes.
Okay.
Pass.
So that's one bet that I like. Plus 116 San Francisco. I like that bet.
That plus money may be shifting.
Yes, I'm only taking plus money bets. You know that. All right, I have a 3-leg parlay that I love. I love this 3-leg playoff parlay.
So real quick before you do this, so this is in the 3 bets you like is a 3-leg parlay. So you actually have like 6
I got
bets
another
you
one.
like.
Yeah, no, this parlay's cashing. I've got 3 straight bets and I got a parlay for you too. This is the little razzle dazzle. This is a sprinkle. Colts, Falcons, Steelers, all to miss the playoffs. You can grab that right now at plus 205. 205, Steelers, Colts, Falcons, all to miss the playoffs, plus 200. What do you think about that parlay?
So that being plus 200 is very surprising to me because Vegas must like the Steelers because the Colts, I get it, and the Falcons, I mean, come on now, what are we doing?
Put that $20 down. Watch that $20 turn into $60. All you got to do is take that parlay right there, plus 204. You can get that right now with our friends over at FanDuel. Colts, Falcons, Steelers parlay to miss the playoffs at plus 200. Rob, this is where you might start laughing at me. I like Dallas to make the playoffs at minus 108. So basically a coin flip on if you think Dallas is going to make the playoffs.
Why is that such a low number?
I'm also taking Dallas to win the division. Plus 225. Right now, Cowboys winner of the NFC East. Giants might be a year away. The Commanders. I think it's more likely the Commanders fire their head coach than win the division. Laramie Tunsil's out. Jaden Daniels bouncing back from injury. I could see them getting off to a very slow start. This makes this a 2-horse race. I love the Cowboys offseason. I love the additions they've made on their defense. I think the Cowboys might be dangerous. They might be sleepers. San Francisco plus 116 to miss the playoffs. Dallas plus 225 to win the NFC East. Minus 108 to make the playoffs. A parlay, Colts, Falcons, and Steelers is also one that I really like. If you want to play that one as well. And Rob, let me go and tell you right now, I have fallen for it with the New Orleans Saints for the 9th consecutive season.
Here we go.
Saints to make the playoffs, plus 184. Saints plus 184 to make the playoffs.
Hold on. If you're going to do the Saints bet, let's do the Saints bet. Pick them to win the South.
I'm scared.
Who else in the South?
I mean, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I might sprinkle a little bit on there. I'm just telling you where I'm at right now. I mean, if you want me to play them to win the division, I got no problem with that. They're plus 260. I'm
going to say.
So, I mean, I'll take a little extra profit.
Because they're not making
plus 180 at least gives me that they could be a wild card team. I think the Saints are going to surprise some people this season.
I don't think the South's having two playoff teams. So I think if you're going to do it, go big. Also, I don't think your Dallas bet's dumb at all. Why are those numbers the way they are? I think Dallas should be the favorite in the NFC East. I
understand Philadelphia being the favorite, given the fact that Dallas won 7-9 or 7-10 last year. Philadelphia won double-digit games, made the postseason. I understand why Philadelphia is the favorite coming into the season. But yeah, give me those. So if you want a handful of bets that I like, and I know it's early, San Francisco plus 116. Dallas plus 225 to win the division. Minus 108 to make the playoffs if you're scary. Saints plus 184 to make the playoffs because I'm scary. And I love that parlay. Colts, Falcons, Steelers all to miss the playoffs plus 200. Take those to the bank. That's free. That's free gambling advice here on The Drive.
I actually don't hate those really at all. I would go more aggressive. I would have Saints to win the division because I just don't think the South's getting 2, but I feel like those are pretty safe future bets. And futures, I'm all about plus money.
Oh, for sure.
Anyone's like, oh, it's a minus 105. What are you doing? You're waiting 4 months for a minus 105?
That's why I'm here. I mean, you want more? I gave you my Heisman bet a couple days ago, did I not?
Who'd you have for the Heisman? I didn't hear.
Dante Moore, 12-1.
CJ Carr's the favorite right now. He would have been the best play.
I mean, you can still get him. He's plus 700.
I mean, it's the Heisman, so everyone's plus money, but.
Yeah, I have Dante Moore plus 1,200. If you want a long shot flyer, Gunnar Stockton got him at 22-1 odds. So those are my, if you want my early futures bets before we really start diving in, I'll give you a little sprinkle of college. I'll give you a sprinkle of the NFL. Dante Moore, he's going to be a top 5 pick in next year's draft class. He'll put up good numbers. They play in enough big time games. They play USC. They play Ohio State. They play Michigan this year. So there's just enough games in which he'll be in prominent situations. If they make it to the Big Ten championship game, you get enough standalone game. It's name recognition. Dante Moore, 12-1 odds.
That's not a bad bet at all.
I do wonder with Gunnar Stockton at 22-1, I wonder if he's exciting enough to win the Heisman Trophy. Like, he's just not an exciting player. He's going to be good. He's going to be solid, but is he a exciting, thrill, over the top, they won this game because Gunnar Stockton took him down the field? I'm not really sure, but you got to always just sprinkle a little $5 on a little 20-1 or better on the Heisman Trophy and see what happens as the season progresses. Maybe he won't win the Heisman Trophy, but he can get to the point where he can be second or third in the voting and cash out there, and you can make a little bit of money.
Yeah, because his schedule is beneficial too. Like, they have Vanderbilt and Oklahoma at home to start big SEC play. Auburn at home. Florida's in it's not in Jacksonville anymore, but the world's largest cocktail party. It's a neutral site. I mean, there's a chance for him to rack up some free points. I don't think Gunnar Stockton's that good, so I don't love that bet, but that's not a bad play.
Right now, they have the Kansas over-under wins at 6.5. That's getting plus money at plus 152. By the way,
that number's bumped up. It was at 5.5 a month ago. I got it at that number.
Oh, you got it at 5.5. You took the over?
I took the over at 5.5.
You got to make it a bowl game this year?
I have plus 105 was the over on 5.5.
You worried about them making a bowl game this year?
That's the sweat. But clearly, Vegas doesn't feel that. The numbers come up.
They got K-State at. Their over-under is 8.5.
Talk about an easy schedule. Look at K-State. That's just cakewalk.
You think they got a shot at making the playoff?
Yes.
K-State?
It'll be a 12 seed and then boat race, but yes.
If they make the playoff this year, they might rename the stadium. They might just right then and there, just, you know what? Why don't we try something different? Why don't we try something else? You know,
Colin Klein Field at Bill Snyder Family Stadium.
That's what it'll be. Then they'll instantly send you an email. They need more NIL money. That's how it always works. All right, coming up at the top of the hour, Jeff Chadiha asked me a great question about the Chiefs. We'll go through it. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive is always streaming live on our YouTube channel.
If you're a bad tipper, that's okay. You're all right. I'm not here to judge you for that.
Just search for 965 The Fan.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, Mr. C, it's me. Well, I just picked up the ring. I actually went to Hellsberg. Thanks for that recommendation. Kate's gonna love that hers is from the same jeweler you got Mrs. C's ring from. They were so helpful throughout the whole process. They even knew your family by name, and the ring looks great. Anyways, I just couldn't wait to let you guys know. Call me back and wish me luck.
Hellsberg, designed with care and craft since 1915. Shop in store or at hellsberg.com.
That pallet of pavers collecting dust, the beginnings of a garden, those stray fence posts.
Are you haunted by half-finished projects on your land? John Deere is here to say, not anymore. Our compact tractors allow you to swap implements easily, and they're backed by the nation's largest dealer network. You always had the right idea, and with the right tools, those projects can get finished for good. Nothing runs like a Deere. Learn more at johndeere.com/compact tractors.
I felt a jackhammering pain in my jaw.
Like someone sawing my bones.
Barbed wire in my shoulder.
Like a cattle prod in my hip.
Like I put my foot in a blender.
Pain is different for everyone. But where pain starts, Journavx suzetrigine begins. Journavx is a non-opioid 50-milligram prescription tablet for adults with moderate to severe acute pain that reduces pain signals before they reach the brain. Before those signals tell the brain to feel
Like I punched an angry beehive.
And pain reduction can finally begin. Do not take Journavx with CYP3A inhibitors. Avoid use with grapefruit or liver problems, as these may increase side effects. Tell your doctor about all your medicines if you are pregnant or breastfeeding. Journavx may make certain medicines and birth control less effective. Side effects include itching, muscle spasms, rash, and elevated muscle enzymes. To learn more about Journavx, ask your doctor. Call 1-833-589-PAIN or visit journavx.com.
They say 40 is the new 20, and that's because guys in their 40s, 50s, and 60s are walking around with the testosterone levels of their 20s. If you want that energy drive, the libido of your younger self, then go to Low T Center like the thousands of other men have. Go to fixmylowt.com and book your free T-test today.
It's Chiefs season at Harrah's Kansas City. Every Saturday in August, the excitement kicks off at 6 p.m., where every 15 minutes until 10 p.m., one lucky guest will win up to $2,000 in free play. Then at 10 p.m., one grand prize winner will score a pair of Kansas City season tickets. Wear your red, bring your lucky game day spirit, and join us every Saturday in August at Harrah's Kansas City. Big prizes, big excitement. Don't miss your shot to win.
21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
If you're looking for a new job and to work for a great local company, Gann Asphalt and Concrete is hiring. Top pay in the industry, health, vision, dental insurance, paid time off, and advancement opportunities. Check them out at GannAsphalt.com. One contractor, all things parking lot.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
This report is brought to you by Rawhide Harley-Davidson.
It's Rawhide Harley's pre-owned summer sell-down event this week. All pre-owned Harleys are tagged with liquidation pricing. Good credit, bad credit, or no credit. 100% of credit applications accepted. Save thousands this week only at Rawhide Harley's pre-owned summer sell-down. It ends this Sunday. On approved credit.
Tune in for the Fan Club Fridays at 1 o'clock with Cody and Gold, presented by Circus Sports. Want your shot at $30 million in guaranteed prizes? Enter one of Circus Sports' premier football contests. Visit circusports.com for details. Enter in Nevada. Play from anywhere. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got a crash 70 eastbound. Okay, both shoulders are affected as you approach 40, so you've got to split. Pay attention to what they're telling you to do, actually, just to move through here. That's going to be the key, but there is a lot of red, so you will tap your brakes, and again, they'll tell you what you need to do. We've got 435 east at Naw. That's a two-car crash block in the left lane on Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Chris Jones from the Kansas City Chiefs. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, we got a little bit of time here. We'll reset things at the top of the hour. I feel this week, at least this segment, the theme of this segment is going to be, do you trust them to figure it out? Rashee Rice met with the media today. I'm a little surprised. But he stood up there and he answered questions from the media, so I got to give him credit for that. He was asked about jail, and he said it was a learning experience and that it is behind him. Quote, "It was a reality check. It's in the past. I'm focused on the future." Now, you guys have heard me say, I'm going into this year, I'm willing to give Rashee Rice a clean slate for this year. You don't got to do it for me. Do it for yourself. Do it for greed. If you play well, if you perform at a high level, someone will give you an abundance of riches at the end of the year. That's enough to hold it together for 5 months. We're not even saying for the rest of your life. Can you hold it together for 5 months? Somebody has to pay you next year. Your contract expires. Either the Chiefs franchise tag you or you ball out this year and another team signs you to a free agent deal. I just want to know, with Rashee Rice, is it possible that everybody learns things at a different time? There's this line in The Wire where Prop Joe says a man learned best when he got burnt. Some people didn't just touch the stove one time and learn that it was hot. No, people kept making the same mistakes over and over. And then one day they woke up and was like, you know what? That's dumb. I don't want to do that anymore. Is it possible that Rashee Rice can figure it out for this season to be the best version of himself, which ultimately is the best version of the Chiefs? Because if you think the Chiefs are going to be good this season, and I imagine that a lot of you think the Chiefs are going to be good this season, I don't think they can do that without Rashee Rice. If you think that this team is going to win the division and be a serious Super Bowl threat and make a deep run, you got to tell me how you think they do that without Rashee Rice being a valuable member of their team. They don't have enough other pieces on their offense, in my mind, in order to make it work. I think you really, really need Rashee Rice this season. I think he's one of the 10 most important players that they have, and he is closer to the top than he is to the bottom of that top 10 list. I know he has made mistakes in the past. I know he made a mistake in the last 120 days. I ain't never been to jail before. I don't want to go. I have no interest in going to jail. This wasn't like an overnight holding situation. A lot of us have been in that situation. You were in holding for a little bit. No, he was in jail for a month. I can't imagine being a millionaire, 24 years old, and I'm in jail in the middle of the summer. Just doesn't sound fun to me. It just doesn't sound great. Is it possible while he was laying there on that cot looking up and your friends are out and you don't have, maybe something clicked with Rashee Rice? Is it not possible that maybe all of this summer, not the car crash, but is it possible that this summer was potentially the wake up that he needed? That, all right, I gotta figure this out. Is it possible that that can be the case?
It's 100% possible. And I think to the point of this segment, which is, do you trust them? I think it is fair for on the other side to say, I don't trust he can do that. Because basically ever since his rookie year ended, there has not been a moment where Rashee Rice has filled fans with a sense of trustworthiness. Because remember, he had the rookie year. They go to the Super Bowl. They win the Super Bowl. Everyone's like, oh, Rashee Rice might be that guy. It was around Easter time. Started playing Speed Racer. Then had that lingering over him. Injury. Suspension, injury. So to the point of your whole segment here, I think it's a fair question to ask, but I also think it's fair for people on the other side to say, you know what? He hasn't done anything to earn my trust.
I understand that. I get that. But I'm asking, sometimes people can do a red flag where you got no interest in patching it up with them. You crossed the line. I'm not at that point with Rashee Rice.
Some people are.
I agree. A lot of people seem to be.
I'm not that person. But so the majority of the text line right now is the person's like, you crossed the red line. You have a red flag that I just can't look past.
Yeah, they need him, though. Like, they need him. He's not a guy that you can just disregard for this team. You know, the Chiefs, they'll be fine if Tyquan Thornton doesn't have a career year. I mean, it'd be great if he does, but they don't need Tyquan Thornton. They don't need Felix Anudike-Uzomah. Tell me how you think this team wins the division without Rashee Rice being a key part of their offense. Tell me how you think they have a top 10 offense, how Mahomes gets back to being an MVP level quarterback if Rashee Rice is not in the middle of it. He's their second best offensive player. If you're saying Kenneth Walker's number one, yeah, okay, I'll give you that. Rashee Rice is better than Travis Kelce at this stage of their careers. I'd rather have the 25-year-old than the 37-year-old. He's a more proven receiver than Xavier Worthy is at this stage. They really need Rashee Rice to step up and take that next step. And it's not like we haven't seen him do it before. Like, to me, the conversation about Xavier Worthy is somebody who very rarely has put it together, and now we think he's ready to take a next step. I've seen good versions of Rashee Rice. I mean, it's been a while since we've seen it, but his rookie year was a pretty productive season. The first 4 games of the following season was a pretty productive season. An injury happens, off-the-field incidents happen, and it's derailed his career, but we're starting off the season. He's not going to be suspended, and they're going up against one of the marquee defenses in the league. That's a good, hey, I'm here kind of spot to really ball out this season.
You know what? For your red flag analogy, I think there are some fans who said, hey, his red flag is too far. I can't be a part of it anymore. Is it also possible the Chiefs are just ignoring his red flag? Because to your point about how reliant the Chiefs are on them, it seems like they think they look right past that red flag of his lack of trustworthiness, and he's our number one wideout. He's good. Don't worry about it. Remember the Albert Breer report? The Chiefs view him as one of the top 10 receivers in the league. If fans are too hard about him and the red flag is we're done with you, is it possible the Chiefs are too light on him and they're looking right past the red flags?
I mean, I don't think they have a choice. Like someone on the text line says, CDOT, if we're relying on Rashee Rice, then we're already cooked. I mean, I would say they're in that same position with about 6 different guys on the team. The Chiefs really need George Karlaftis to be good this season. The Chiefs are very dependent on Noel Williams taking that next step. The Chiefs' offense is very reliant on Rashee Rice to take a next step and Travis Kelce to continue to defeat Father Time and be an 800-yard receiver this year. We have not really talked about the Chiefs' possibility of what if Travis Kelce takes a 30% dip because of age and he's a 550-yard tight end this year. We've seen that happen to guys in the final year of their career. So the Chiefs are very reliant on certain things like most teams are. I'm just asking for a guy in the prime of his career, coming off an injury, who should be motivated by all get out to keep his head down, ball out, and get a second opportunity. You guys keep telling me how great Eric Bieniemy is with discipline. You know who seems like they could really use some discipline? Rashee Rice. All that stuff that you guys love about Eric Bieniemy, he should be pouring that into Rashee Rice right now. He could desperately use it because, I'm sorry, they do not win the AFC without Rashee Rice. They are not a serious threat and a serious contender without him being their best receiver this season. He is one of their most important players. Coming up at the top of the hour, I got a chance to catch up with Jeff Chadilla. I'll play for you something that he had to say. I'm going to guess you guys are going to disagree, but let's talk about it. Keep right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison, the go-to show for dating advice you didn't ask for.
If you got to ask your girl to help on the bill on Valentine's Day, you've done something wrong.
On your home for Kansas City sports, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've had a crash 70 eastbound. Okay, both shoulders are affected as you approach 40, so you've got to split. Pay attention to what they're telling you to do, actually, just to move through here. That's going to be the key, but there is a lot of red, so you will tap your brakes, and again, they'll tell you what you need to do. We've got 435 east at Naw. That's a 2-car crash block in the left lane on Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about good mayo, Duke's Mayo. It'll make any dish sing. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Baseball fans, America's pastime is a game of decisions. Is it going to be a fastball or a sinker? Should you swing big or play for the bunt? And FanDuel is giving you that same strategy every Dinger Tuesday with a choose your own reward customization, which allows you to transform the experience. Option 1, the bet reset. Use this on your wager and you'll get refunded in bonus bets if your slip doesn't cash. Option 2, a 50% profit boost. Make your bet, activate the profit boost, and if it hits, you'll get extra winnings for the price of no extra cost. Whatever your style is, remember that you are in control. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use instantly on your next home run bet. FanDuel.com/local. Now choose your reward for every home run bet on Dinger Tuesday. Play ball with the home for home runs, and that's with FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball, and also 96.5 The Fan. 21 and present in Missouri. Option required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration. Leg requirements and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLE.
You like saving money, right? We all do. That's why Allstate just lowered the price of car insurance. Not, but wait, there's a catch. Lower. Actually lower. So if you're shopping around or just want to see how much you could save, check Allstate first for a new lower auto rate that could save you hundreds. You're in good hands with Allstate. Not available in every state. Only applicable for new auto insurance business. Rates will vary by several factors, including how you purchase the policy. Potential savings vary. Allstate North American Insurance Company and Affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What if you could have the most reliable fiber-powered Wi-Fi? And get this, what if you could keep it at the same price for 5 years guaranteed? Now through August 24th, new Xfinity customers can get our best price on gig Wi-Fi this summer before it disappears. Just $50 a month for 5 years. No annual contracts, no hidden fees, and our best equipment included. Plus, get online in minutes with same-day Wi-Fi. It's Wi-Fi that finds and fixes problems before you even notice them. Like super intelligent Wi-Fi with a sixth sense. Plus, it keeps you protected from online threats. And get Peacock Premium included for 2 years. Lock in your price and unlock the possibilities. Get it now at Xfinity.com. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Taxes and fees extra. Speeds vary. Use of fiber coaxial cable. Learn more at Xfinity.com/same-day Wi-Fi.
Hi, this is Toby Tobin along with Jason Goodenkoff from Lewisburg Ford in Lewisburg, Kansas. Hi, Jason.
Hello, Toby.
Let's talk about the buying experience at Lewisburg Ford.
It's the best anywhere. Just ask all our customers, Toby. It is hands down the best experience you can have buying a new car. We have the no-hassle Toby Tobin price that we've had for 35 years now. Nobody else can say that. We've been saving Kansas City thousands and thousands of dollars for a lot of years.
I have been buying Ford cars and trucks from Lewisburg Ford for over 30 years. And I know personally this is the best place to buy a Ford car or truck. Great prices, but there's a whole lot more than that.
It doesn't just stop at price, Toby.
No.
There's other factors to this equation, and it's trade-in allowance, financing, and the experience of how knowledgeable the people are that you're dealing with. And we surpass everybody in all those areas. We always have. We always will. That's why calling us is important.
Do you have that new pickup?
Absolutely. And it's dynamite.
Okay. Lewisburg Ford is your best place to buy a Ford car or truck. What's your toll-free number?
816-444-2300.
Lewisburg Ford or LewisburgFord.com.
At the 40, the 30, 20, 10, he's going to take it to the house. Whether you're buying a home, a car, or making another major life purchase, Main Street Credit Union helps you reach your financial goals with cashback, high yield, and student spend accounts, and certified financial counseling. Real people, real progress. Join us at mainstreetcu.org.
This report is brought to you by Go Car Wash. It's your time to go shine.
For limited time at Go Car Wash, mention radio and get any wash for just $5. Yep, any wash. That's up to 80% off our best wash. Visit Go Car Wash today. It's your time to go shine.
Tune in to Cody and Gold starting at 10 as they broadcast live from Chiefs training camp with exclusive one-on-one interviews and real-time updates from practice. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. Thank you so much for listening. It is The Drive. My name is Carrington. I am here. Rob is here taking you up until 6 o'clock. We got full shows every day this week. So you know what? I can be with you the entire 5 o'clock hour. So earlier today, Rob, I filled in for my guy, Stephen A. Smith. I would imagine that Stephen A. will be on the show between now and the start of the football season. I haven't asked yet, but you know what? Me and Stephen A. Smith, we're friends. That's my guy. So let me play for you what Jeff Chadilla had to say. In our conversation, we were talking about the Chiefs. Now, all of the concerns that I have about the Chiefs, I don't just tell you guys that. I tell other people those concerns too. I got to be real. I got to be honest about them. And this is what he had to say about the Chiefs. And it led me to a very interesting thought process. This is Jeff Chadilla of NFL Network.
They probably have a question at every position on the field, including the quarterback, because as great as he is, you don't know how well he's going to be playing. He'll play well, but you don't know if you're going to get 90% of Patrick Mahomes or 80% of Patrick Mahomes, because it takes a while to get back to being who you are at that position. But I agree with you. I do think that there's a little bit of really interesting optimism about them rebounding from a season in which they weren't playing well before he got hurt, and he missed 3 games, and they're going to have 6 new faces on defense. As you mentioned, the receiving corps, their best wide receiver was in jail for 30 days and was rehabbing a knee while he was there. He still isn't healthy. Their second best receiver was hurt all of last year, and he's already been banged up in training camp. The third best receiver was a bust in New England, and the fourth best receiver has never played in the NFL. And so I don't know, even with Kenneth Walker coming in and the run game, there's still a lot of questions about the supporting cast that were there last year when you saw how bad they were when Mahomes wasn't under center.
All right, Rob, let's go through this, because I had never thought about it from this perspective. And when you hear it, it kind of hit my ear funny. They have a question at every position on the field. So let's go through this, Rob. We don't got to spend the entire 5 o'clock hour through it, but let's go there. I don't have a question about Mahomes on whether or not he can be the same player that he was before. Like, they don't have a quarterback question in the same way that I would say Green Bay does heading into the season, just to give you a team that I think has a good quarterback, but I don't really know what to expect. The health thing doesn't bother me that much with Patrick Mahomes, just because we just have so much historical information when it comes to an ACL tear. If this was an Achilles, I'd have a little bit of a differing opinion. But an ACL tear, we see guys bounce back from this injury all the time. That I am not overly concerned about that with Patrick Mahomes. They have not really given me a reason to have a concern about Patrick Mahomes and him not being there. He has not missed anything. The 3 games that he didn't play in last year, they were mathematically eliminated. I don't know if Mahomes would have played in those games anyway. He certainly wouldn't have played in the Raiders game at the end of the season. Maybe he plays the Christmas game. It's a home game, divisional game. Maybe he would have played in that game. But he's been there for every offseason thing. He's been taking all the reps with the ones. They give me no reason to think he's not going to play. So I don't really have reason to doubt Patrick Mahomes heading into the season. I understand the logic in what you are asking. I don't really necessarily push back on it. But Patrick Mahomes, he is not a concern for me heading into the season.
You say he hasn't missed any of the things. Does missing preseason count? Because based on Andy Reid said last week, Patrick Mahomes is going to miss the preseason. Now, they say it's because we're going to be precautionary, blah, blah, blah. But does Patrick Mahomes missing the preseason count as missing something? And if it does...
I'm not overly concerned. I don't care about that.
That's fair.
I don't care about that.
But I think that the fact that that's new and different for Andy Reid, I think it's fair to ask, does that count as a something? And while I agree with you, I think it is fair to have Mahomes' health as a question.
Okay, so you are writing it down that they have a question mark with the health.
Or may call
That's fine,
it
I'm just asking.
May call it rust. I'd call it rust. Do they have a rust problem at quarterback?
Okay. Rust problem. I have no concerns with their running back room. None. Not a single one. I don't have any question about their running backs.
I mean, I think it's fair to ask how they will use them. maybe that's not about the running backs, that's Andy Reid, but if it's an RPO-a-palooza.
That feels like a text line Twitter question to me. I mean,
the numbers indicate they did too many RPOs last year.
Yeah, their running back room wasn't good last year. So I'm now going into it. I think the Chiefs recognize the error of their ways. I think they recognize the error of their ways almost very instantly with their running back room, and they fixed it immediately. Like, I feel like I now stand alone. I don't think the same coach that built up Deuce Staley, that built up Brian Westbrook, that built up Jamal Charles. He had his best years in Kansas City under Andy Reid, the guy that turned Kareem Hunt from a third-round pick into the number one running back in the National Football League. I don't think that guy forgot how to develop running backs. I think they kind of drank their own juice a little bit and thought we could do it with anybody at running back. I think they quickly realized that were wrong and that they needed to invest. They have now invested. So Kenneth Walker is not an issue for me. DeMercado was not an issue. Emmett Johnson this season. I feel more confident about their running back room than any other place on the team.
I think it is the place they have 0 to 1 questions. But I do think it's fair to ask how they'll use him, but maybe that's not a running back question per se. That's an Andy Reid question. But yes, that is some of the text line says, do you think Kenneth Walker can handle the full load after splitting last season? I don't think that's a fair question, but if you're nitpicking for questions, that one might come up.
And Kenneth Walker got a lot of carries last year. He had 221 carries last year. It's not like he got 120, and now we're talking about him bumping up to being a 270 guy. I think they'll give him the ball about what he got last year. I think his workload might increase a little bit because they'll throw it to him a little bit more. He didn't really get a whole lot of receiving opportunities last year with Seattle. But could he get 50 targets this year, up from 36, a couple more catches? Maybe he gets 240 carries this year. I think that's realistic. I don't have any questions about their running back room.
Yeah, I think it is the room they have the least amount of questions in. And I think it's like maybe half a question.
I mean, I have all the questions about wide receiver. We ain't got to spend any time on it. I have all the questions about wide receiver.
Pass catcher in general. I think you have tight end questions.
To me, the only question about them is how long do you think Travis Kelce can continue to do this?
Which is, he is the only player of note in that room. So it's a really fair and major question to me.
Yeah, I guess.
Because if he's Tony Gonzalez, doesn't matter. But
this is why I think the question is a little bit unfair. And I know that maybe I'm the wrong messenger for this because I've certainly had I think Kelce, he's never had less than 800 yards. So let's say that Kelce just does exactly what he's been doing these last 3 years. So you remember 2 years ago, he could have had 1,000 yards receiving. He chose not to play the last game of the season. Okay. Last year, took a step back, or 2 years ago, took a step back at 823. Last year, bounced back with 851. Also didn't play at the end of the season because they sat down everybody at the end of the season. Kelce probably would have got 925 last year had it been a normal year. So I don't think he's 1,000-yard tight end anymore. But I think it's realistic to go into the season expecting Travis Kelce to have 750 or more yards at tight end. From a 36-year-old man that's about to be 37 years old here coming up in 3 months, that doesn't make me feel that bad about it. I don't have many tight end questions for the Kansas City Chiefs. They don't have the best room in the league anymore, or they don't have the best tight end anymore. They're still top 6 to 8 at tight end in the National Football League. That's good enough for me to feel very good about it.
I think they are low on questions, but the size of the question is big. But yes, we don't go over wide receiver. That's just a question.
We talked about wide receiver enough. I have all the questions. There's not one thing I feel 100% certain in when it comes to the wide receiver room. Offensive line, there's only one question I have. Is Jalen Moore. I don't question if Josh Simmons can play if he's available and on the field.
I'm going to say,
he has to stay on the field, though.
That's a question, though. He went MIA.
Yeah, but to me, though, the injury question, that's football.
Life, yeah.
That's everybody. But I'm saying is when he was on the field, I think he is a productive player.
But
I don't go into it worried. I think that Josh Simmons can play. I don't know if Jalen Moore can play. That's a very different question on the other side. So I'm saying is I feel good about Josh Simmons. I feel good about Kingsley, good about Creed Humphrey. Trey Smith will be there whenever the games matter. The only question I have on their offensive line is Jalen Moore. He's never started a week one. He's never been deemed as a starting right tackle in the National Football League. What does that look like? So I actually don't have a whole lot of questions on their offense, really, aside from their wide receiver room. The wide receiver room is another issue. Seeing is believing. Outside of that, I don't have a whole lot of questions about their offensive line.
Does Khalil Benson count in the Jalen Moore conversation, or is it a different question? Is this right tackle in general the question?
Yeah, right tackle in general to me.
I also think I'm surprised you, of all people, don't have a Josh Simmons question. I mean, putting the injury aside,
I think he can play.
He did just miss 4 games last season.
I think he can play.
No one knows why. Just missed 4 games.
I guess maybe this was the comparison I'll make. I look at him like Jaden Higgins for the Texans. He had a good first year, but I think the expectation is, all right, you like what you saw in a limited role last year. Can you now do that over a 16-game sample size, and can you be a productive player? My only question with Josh Simmons is, can you just stay on the field? If he stays on the field, I think he's a productive player. Just wasn't on the field enough. When it comes to their defense, I think it's nonstop questions about their defense. But I think the confidence and faith that you should have coming into the season with their defense is they have one of the greatest defensive coordinators in league history at the helm of it to figure all of these questions out. So I do have questions about the pass rush. Their linebacker room, it's fine, but you got Nick Bolton. You got Drew Tranquill. I mean, that's a good foundation for your linebacker room if you're any team in the National Football League. So I'm not going to be overly worried about Jeffrey Bassa or Cooper McDonald when you got a Pro Bowl caliber linebacker in Nick Bolton and Drew Tranquill, who's a really good Robin to his Batman. And the cornerback room, you and I made the point earlier today talking about cornerback. I'm just going to trust that they know what they're doing. They've done this so many times at corner. There is not a team in the National Football League that is better at taking the resources that they have in their cornerback room and making something out of it more than the Kansas City Chiefs. So I think by definition, you have to have questions about their cornerback room. You haven't seen any of these guys be proven starters and or to stay healthy. But the Noah Williams thing, they've done this a million times. The only people better at talent evaluation than them is like the Disney Channel. I don't know how they just continue to how do you keep finding these kids? Where do they come from? You just found Demi Lovato. She was 6 years old. How did you know this? That's what they do in their cornerback room. So Noah Williams is just, he is now next up. They've done this 4 consecutive generations when it comes to their cornerback room, and I trust they're going to do it again with Noah Williams.
I think I want to phrase this right. Jeffrey Chadiha does a national perspective of the NFL. He covers the league as a whole. I think the questions he probably has about secondary are fair. I don't think those questions exist for Kansas City Chiefs fans because what we talked about earlier in the show. They just keep pumping out hits. They had 22 work. They had 23 work. They had 25 work. Even 2019, the secondary wasn't bad. And it was basically just Tyrann Mathieu plus the 2018 secondary. They keep turning players who are nothing draft picks into stars at corner. So I think Jeff Chadiha asking the question is fair. I don't think that question is shared by anyone in town just because they're batting 1,000 at secondary.
I have 2 things, and then we'll get to the shout out of Jungle Law. Do you think they have a kicker issue?
Potentially.
Okay.
I don't think it's like...
It's something we have not spent any time so far this offseason talking about, but their field goal kicker was not good last year.
And kicker's a position where when it ends quick. I mean, look at Justin Tucker. Put the nasty masseuse stuff to the side. He was missing kicks his last year. Harrison Butker had been nails, and then all of a sudden, he wasn't. Is it a blip, or is it a thing? I think special teams actually as a whole has questions, because they were a bad unit last year. Like, real bad.
Text line 913-586-7965. C-Dot, how can you have this mentality around the defense that you trust what they are doing because they've done it so many times? Where is that regarding the offense? I've never seen them do it before at wide receiver. I've never seen Brett Veach do it before. Brett Veach has never drafted Trent McDuffie on offense. He has never drafted Nick Bolton as a skill position player. They've done it a bunch of times on defense. So I think the defense earns a measure of the benefit of the doubt when it comes to their defense. They have not done that on offense, not with Brett Veach, not with him at the helm. They have not found their Snead. They have not found it. So, yes, I think the defense and Steve Spagnuolo deserves a, hey, I've seen you now for every 3 years. You have let L'Jarius Snead go and found his replacement. You had Charvarius Ward. You let him go. You let this guy go, and you continue to find it. They've continued to churn out hits. They have not done that at wide receiver. So I can't give them that mentality when it comes to that position. I can't do it.
I would say Rashee Rice outside of his off-the-field issues is hit adjacent, but you're right. Brett Veach does not have – he has not developed a star at that position. Just period, full stop. So I think it is fair to say, can he or will they when they never have?
Yeah, for sure. All right. Let's shout out Jungle Law.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home, and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Ken Hits brought to you by Jungle Law. Jungle Law is here to dominate all cases of DUI, personal injury, and criminal defense, plus sexual harassment. So call the lawman today, 816-816-9111.
Text line 913-586-7965. Earlier today, we had Cody Tapp on the show, and we asked him what are his expectations for the Chiefs wide receiver room. Here's what he said.
I'm not going to fall into the everybody got to eat trap or whatever again. I think Rashee Rice is probably a 950-yard wide receiver. I am hoping Xavier Worthy is a 750-yard wide receiver, and that Tyquan and Cyrus Allen can do their DeMarcus Robinson impression and get 450. Maybe one of them 450, maybe one of them 350. I think it is an average wide receiver unit with the potential of being a slightly better than average wide receiver unit, unless Cyrus Allen is just the goods. I'm down on Rice a little bit. He didn't used to get open before the injury. They're really slow walking him. Nate Taylor on the show today said right now he would happily lock in 900 yards for Rashee Rice.
I would happily lock in 900 yards for Rashee Rice. I don't really think I would hesitate that much. I don't think I would roll the dice. I don't think the ceiling is really that much higher for him than where it needs to be. Like, I'm about to pull it up right now of receivers last year, and would you just take this season right now for Rashee Rice? I mean, if he has 900 yards, that means he plays in at least 14 games. Like, you don't get 900 yards in 7 games. It's not really how it works. So if you're telling me that he got 900 yards this season, that means he was on the field pretty consistently. I think you would take 900 yards if you're him. Looking at it right now, 900 yards would put you in the top 25 last year. Like, Jalen Waddle had 910 yards. I would sign up for this right now from Rashee Rice. Jalen Waddle last year had 64 catches for 910 yards and 6 touchdowns. Yes, I will take that right now if that's what you can get.
Let me ask you this, because I would lock it in too. Can the Chiefs offense get to the levels they need to get to if he's a 900-yard guy? Like, if you're locking in 900 yards, is the Chiefs offense...
I think so.
Really? I don't think so. I think they need more from him.
I don't know if they need that much more if the other things work out. So, follow me on this thought process. Let's say that Kenneth Walker gets you a little over 1,000 yards. He's basically been the same guy that he's been, so you got a 1,000-yard guy. You then get Rashee Rice. He is Emeka Egbuka last year. 63 catches, 938 yards, and 6 touchdowns. That's a pretty good receiver. Mm-hmm. What do you think Xavier Worthy's going to be in this scenario? Because that really matters. Is Xavier Worthy a 500-yard guy or a 700-yard guy? Is Travis Kelce what he's been the same time? You and I might be different on Cyrus Allen compared to what the text line thinks he can be. I don't think the Chiefs are going to have a 30-point-per-game score. But could they have 4 guys that average 18 to 21 points this year, and just the culmination of all of those guys end up being a pretty productive offense? I think there's a possibility that ends up happening. They're not going to develop an A.J. Brown. They're not going to develop an Amon-Ra St. Brown this season. But could they have 3 receivers in their offense? So if we're counting Kelce, so we count Kelce, we count Kenneth Walker, and we also count Rashee Rice. So you have 3 guys that get you 800 yards of scrimmage or more. You sprinkle in what you get from Xavier Worthy. Everybody else gets in where they fit in. That's probably a top 12 offense in the National Football League for sure.
I guess to maybe ask the same question, just asking it different. Is top 12 what the Chiefs are talking about trying to achieve? Or maybe the fans are talking about them trying to achieve? Because, yes, going from what were they last year, 20-something to top 12 is a big step forward. But if 12 is the goal, I thought the goal might be a little too low for Patrick Mahomes. Like, I thought the goal was to be a top 10 offense again. I thought the goal was to be the Legion of Zoom again. I thought it was supposed to be like, you can't cover us. We have so many weapons. And if their top receiver is a 900-yard guy, which, again, I would lock in because of all the question marks, are we sure that offense is better than like the 15th in the league? I don't know that's good enough for the Chiefs to reach the level that at least some think they can get to.
I mean, what was Denver last year offensively? Let me look it up real quick. What was Denver last year offensively?
That's a great question.
Because I'm assuming that was the Broncos last year.
Do we think the Chiefs defense is the Broncos defense?
I don't think they're that. Hold on. Let me look at points scored last year for the Broncos just to get an idea where the Broncos were at last season. The Broncos were 14th in points scored last year. They averaged 23.6 points per game last year. I think the Chiefs' offense will be better than what the Broncos were last year.
That's fair.
The Broncos last year, their leading rusher averaged their leading rusher had 772 yards last year. Their number one wide receiver, they did have a 1,000-yard guy in Cortland Sutton. He was a little bit over 1,000 yards. Troy Franklin was their number 2 option, and Evan Ingram had 461 yards. I would guess, this is just pure speculation on my part, I would guess that the Chiefs will have a better running back than what the Broncos had last year. I'm also going to guess if you take the Chiefs' number 1, number 2, and number 3 pass-catching option, you have a more productive big 3 than what the Broncos had last year, and they were a little bit better than league average. So if I had to guess, the Chiefs' offense probably comes in somewhere between 9th and 11th. They're somewhere in that range, which I think is a noticeable step forward from where they've been the last couple of years. There is a difference in being the 9th best offense and the 16th best offense, in which they were a couple of seasons ago. That is a noticeable difference in terms of explosiveness. And I think it's a noticeable point of emphasis for their ability to just close out games last year. One of the problems I thought for the Chiefs last year, it wasn't always that their offense wasn't high-powered. It was the Chiefs' offense would get the ball with 4 minutes and 25 seconds left, and they couldn't run out the clock and had to punt the ball back and put the defense in a bad spot where the defense gave it up almost every single time. So, yeah, I don't think the Chiefs' offense, they don't have enough high-powered weapons, I think, to be the 3rd best offense in the league. They're not Dallas. They don't have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens and all of these things. They don't have that. But could they be the 9th best offense in the National Football League? I think that's a realistic expectation for the Chiefs next year.
I think if they're going to be the 9th, I guess long and the short of it is, if they're going to be the 9th, 8th, 9th, 10th best offense in the NFL, I don't know you can lock in Rashee Rice for 900. I think you need more. I don't know how many top 10, offense in the NFL top receiver was under 1,000. I just don't know. I mean, I know last year the 10th best offense in the NFL was the Niners, and the Niners' top receiver was under 1,000 yards. It was also Christian McCaffrey, so that's just a bit of a unique situation.
I mean, last year, Chicago's offense was top 10 last year. They were 9th offensively last year.
That's fair.
And the Chiefs' running game, I think, will be pretty comparable to that, which certainly makes sense with Eric Bieniemy. DeAndre Swift had a little over 1,000 yards. Kyle Monangai had a good season for them last year, and that was an offense in which their leading receiver had 713 yards. And I feel pretty confident the Chiefs' leading receiver will have more than 713 yards. So can the Chiefs' offense be better than what the Bears' offense was last year? And they were 9th in points scored last year. I feel pretty confident. And Chicago didn't have a great defense last year either. They were 23rd in points allowed last year. So they weren't a defense that was just taking the ball away and scoring a lot of points for you. I think the Chiefs' offense, and everybody loves Ben Johnson, everybody loves Caleb Williams and Luther Bird and all the weapons that they got. I think averaging around 25 points per game, which is what the Bears were at last year, is a very realistic option for Kansas City coming up this season. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Carrington Harrison here. Let me tell you that erectile dysfunction affects more than your sex life. It can impact your confidence, your relationship, your quality of life. But you don't have to live this way. What they'll do at Heartland Men's Health is they have licensed medical providers who can create a specialized treatment plan designed for your unique needs. Because when it comes to this, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Using advanced medical therapies that go far beyond pills, Heartland Men's Health helps men achieve success rates at well over 90%. Many patients are even able to resume intimacy as soon as the day after their appointment. Your initial visit is $99. It includes a medical consultation, testosterone, and PSA testing. And if medically appropriate, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work during your visit, then the appointment is on the house. So visit any of the 3 area Kansas City locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. Pick up the phone and call Heartland Men's Health at 844-447-6600 or visit the website, heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
I move mountains for a living. Literally. That means I don't carry hand lotion, and when it comes to serious heartburn, I don't mess around with anything but Rolaids Max Strength. Its dual-active formula has 1,500 milligrams of calcium carbonate and magnesium hydroxide that relieves heartburn fast. And the best part? The roll fits right here in my pocket, so I can get back to moving mountains.
Rolade spells powerful relief. 1,500 milligrams is our highest amount of antacid per tablet. Read each label. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
Your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppable beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness, so you can smell unstoppable.
Big hits get even bigger with Dinger Tuesdays on FanDuel. Customers choose their own reward every Tuesday to use on MLB bets. So how will you play your game? Option 1, the bet reset. You can use this on your wager and you'll get refunded in bonus bets if your bet loses. Option 2, a 50% profit boost. Make your bet, activate the profit boost, and if it hits, that's extra winnings at no extra cost. Make your choice, and the reward will be ready to use on your next MLB bet. Maybe you want to take a look at the first inning over-under tab on the FanDuel app, or alternate strikeouts, or some of my favorites. Yes, no runs in the first inning. You name it, you can do it over at FanDuel. Just visit FanDuel.com/local to choose your reward for MLB bets every Dinger Tuesday. That's FanDuel.com/local. FanDuel, an official partner of the MLB and 96.5 The Fan. 21 and over in President, Missouri. Opt-in required. Rewards are non-withdrawable. Restrictions apply, including bonus and token expiration, leg requirements, and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents?
Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
Now at Lowe's, faster quotes start at the Lowe's Pro Desk. Got a material list handwritten on a sticky note or saved as a photo? Perfect. Bring it to us and get a quote in minutes. And if you don't see what you need on the shelf, we'll help you get it. You can access thousands of products beyond what's available in store or on Lowe's.com, right from the Lowe's Pro Desk. Build quotes faster and source the materials you need to keep your jobs moving. Just like that, at Lowe's.
This summer, the Honey Pepper Pimento Chicken Sandwich and Pineapple Dragon Fruit and Sprite are back at Chick-fil-A.
Girl, it's back. We've been waiting. I love that honey pepper pimento sandwich.
And that pineapple dragon fruit and Sprite is everything. It's got that razzle-dazzle that makes you stop and say, okay, wait a minute.
I love the creaminess of the pimento cheese. It's savory, it's bold, it's flavorful.
Our faves are back. High five, girl.
Which fan favorite will you choose? Real customers paid for their testimonials.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
We've got a crash 70 eastbound. Okay, both shoulders are affected as you approach 40, so you've got to split. Pay attention to what they're telling you to do, actually, just to move through here. That's going to be the key, but there is a lot of red, so you will tap your brakes, and again, they'll tell you what you need to do. We've got 435 east at Naw. That's a two-car crash blocking the left lane on Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison on 96.5 The Fan and the Odyssey app.
All right, a couple of Chiefs things that I think we are starting to have answered at this point. Chiefs thing number one. I feel pretty confident that Mansour Delane is going to be there week one. I know last week I wasn't super confident in Mansour Delane being there week one. I mean, I have my doubts. I have my reservations. I mean, he wasn't participating fully in practice. But I think this has been a noticeable step forward this week in practice. He practiced in pads twice over the last 5 days. He practiced on Saturday in pads. He practiced earlier in the week with pads as well. He is running the one-on-one drills. He made a great play on the football earlier today. I don't think he's 100%, but I think what makes this different than how we discuss practice that happens during the season is this is practice that you can see. So you can see when guys are limited. You see how they're limited in training camp in a way that you don't get a chance to see once we get to the course of the regular season. So he would have been a limited participant in practice for the last couple of weeks and a game time decision. But there's no game time. We had Nate Taylor on the show last week. He said that Mansour Delane would not have played last week. I think that's pretty safe to say based on how they handled him in practice. They are now upping his practice routine. Brett Veach was on Sirius XM. He was on NFL radio yesterday, and he said that they expect Mansour Delane to be cleared here in the next 7 to 10 days. So I think what's different is if this was a in-season injury, I think he would have been out for 2 to 3 weeks. I don't think he would have played these last couple of weeks just based on how they were handling things. But the 2 to 3 weeks has passed. They're using him in practice a lot more. I feel pretty good now that he's going to start week 1 for the Kansas City Chiefs. Another thing that I feel pretty good about when looking at the Kansas City Chiefs is I think we know who their right tackle is. I don't think they have any more position battles on the offensive side of the ball. Defense is a little bit different, but I don't think they have any questions anymore on offense on who's going to start. I think Jalen Moore is their starting right tackle. I believe you guys now, seeing how they're handling it. It's definitely changed over the last couple of days, but Jalen Moore is back to getting the first tackle, the right tackle reps, getting the first team reps, and they've left him there. If Khalil Benson was still getting the right tackle reps now, I'd feel very different about it. But they've now shown you the versatility in Benson. He's either going to play right guard or right tackle. Jalen Moore, they had their first depth chart came out today, and Jalen Moore was their right tackle. So I think that conversation is over. So you will not hear too much more about it from me. Jalen Moore, I think, has won that job. I think he's their right tackle. Now, I don't think they'll hesitate to replace him if something goes wrong, but I think that Khalil Benson is clearly their number 6 when looking at their depth chart when it comes to the offensive line. And either he will replace Jalen Moore if something goes wrong, or if an injury happens, I think that Khalil Benson's probably next man up. I don't think it's realistic to think that you're going to have all 5 offensive linemen play all 17 games. Not really how the NFL works. Somebody misses some time. But if Trey Smith misses time, I think they give it to Khalil Benson. If you lose Kingsley Suamataia for a little bit of time, if Josh Simmons is hurt, I think they would move Jalen Moore over to left tackle, and I think they would play Khalil Benson at right tackle. I think they are telling you who they really value on their offensive line. I think they really like Khalil Benson, and that's the plan.
Me and you see right tackle differently. And that it stems from 2 things. One, I think Trey Smith's health creates a question mark because I know they say it's short term and they're not worried and all those things, but he is currently not practicing, which I think that is why Jalen Moore has ascended to the number 1 spot. And 2, you put way more stock into that depth chart than I do. I put none into it. You know who makes that depth chart? Brad G. That is not, the Chiefs do not put out that depth chart. That's not Andy Reid. It's not a middle of the season. That's not a real thing. That is the PR staff just putting it together because Peter Woods is not listed as a starter on there, who has been the star of camp.
I don't know if Peter Woods is going to be a starter for them.
I think he starts over Tonga.
I don't think he is, but I think the snaps end up being pretty comparable. Like, I think it's just one of those positions where you rotate in and out, or I'm with you. Like, I could see him starting. I could see Tonga getting a lot of reps and opportunities. I think when we get past week 1 and we look at the percentages, I think we'll see that those 2 guys are pretty comparable, at least when it comes to the percentages. I disagree with you on this depth chart. This depth chart is exactly what I think the Chiefs are.
But I don't think the Chiefs put that out. I asked the PR staff. I don't think Andy Reid had any say-so on that depth chart. I think that is just a Kelsey's up at practice and she's taking notes and it looks like so-and-so's the right tackle. I don't think that's a Eric Bieniemy sat down with Andy Heck and so let's hammer out our O-line plan. We're going to give this to the media. I think that's a creation of just, that's why they have in big bold letters, unofficial. I don't think anyone has any value in it.
Yeah, I agree. But I guess I would say, and maybe this is a poor analogy, this feels to me like Joe Lunardi's bracketology from somebody who is a direct insider with the team. There's not a surprise on this depth chart. It's not like you released it and they had Brashard Smith as the second running back and like, oh, wow, that caught you off guard. Rob, if I'd asked you to make the Chiefs depth chart, I think you would have wrote the depth chart that they currently have. There's nothing that really took me by surprise, and I'm not saying it should take me by surprise. I think this is the Kansas City Chiefs. I think we know who the Chiefs are now at this point. Now, there's going to be some things in the second or third and who ends up getting more snaps. Emmanuel Ogbah's not on that list, so somebody else has to come off of the list for sure. But I think at this point we know who the Chiefs are. And I think you know who the starters are and who the backups are. I think, honestly, the only question remaining now from an injury standpoint is Omar Norman Lott. And I think we know at this point he hasn't practiced at any point in training camp. I think he's going on the IR to start the season for him. Like, I don't think that Omar Norman Lott is playing in the first portion of the season for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he's going to need more time. But the guys are getting off injury. They're certainly a lot healthier than they were probably 7 to 10 days ago. I think the depth chart they put out today, that's the team. I think that's their starting lineup, the one that they're going to try out against the Broncos here in a month or so.
I think right tackle remains very much a question, and I could still see Khalil Benson winning the job. I don't know he will, but I don't think it's, hey, the first depth chart's out, so we now know the right tackle. I think that is still a very big question, and when Trey Smith comes back to practice, whether it be in St. Joe or with the team, I'm curious what happens at right tackle, because I think Jalen Moore is getting those right tackle reps because Khalil Benson's getting right guard reps. I'm not as sold right tackle as a done position battle as you are.
Yeah, then I would say then they've handled the situation wrong. If you think that Khalil Benson is your starting right tackle and you have now moved him to right guard, I think you've now made a mistake then, if that's the case. So I just take it as I think they really wanted to see what they had with Benson. They were giving him some of those reps. They gave him the reps, and they're showing you all the different combinations and possibilities that it could potentially be on their offensive line. I just saw this pop up on my Twitter timeline. I want to get your opinion on this. Hot take. If you went back and watched Breaking Bad again, it wouldn't be nearly as good as you remember. You think that's an accurate take?
No, that's a bad take.
You want to know what I think the problem is with Breaking Bad? As somebody who recently went back to watch it.
As a rewatchable, correct?
Yes. I think the show is as good as you remember it. It just can't surprise you anymore. Like the show, if you've seen Breaking Bad before, it is based off of, I can't believe that happened. When you know it's going to happen, it just takes some of the joy away from the show. If you know what's going to happen to Jane, and when you meet her for the first time and see the storyline, it then loses some of it. If you know what's going to happen to Gus, it loses some of the pop that I think the show has. So I don't think the show is not as rewatchable. I think the show is really, really good. When I went back and rewatched it a couple months ago, I was still really captured by the characters and the story of it. I just think it lost all of the shock factor now that I knew what the bit was going to be every single time.
I have a friend of mine believes that Better Call Saul is actually a better rewatchable than Breaking Bad. So
I've never seen it before, so I can't say.
I'm gonna say maybe that's 6 in one and half dozen the other, but I could see that. If you know what's coming, it doesn't have that same oomph. But in that all TV shows, like, is The Wire still hitting the same when you know what's coming?
To me, though, The Wire doesn't really,
like Game of Thrones, Red Wedding.
I'm with you 100%. Yeah, The Wire is just a different kind of rewatchable show because there aren't really those moments. I mean, there's some of it, like when Wallace and all those things. Like, yeah, they still have those in The Wire. I think it's radically different when I went and rewatched Breaking Bad. Like when I knew what was going to happen when he went in to go talk to Tuco, it changed how I watched the show the second time that I went back to go watch it. All right, coming up on the other side, we'll put a bow on this thing. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5 The Fan.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan. You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Hey, it's Bob Fesco. Are high-interest credit cards and rising bills stressing your budget? You pay every month,
but high interest makes getting ahead feel impossible. Your home's equity can help. A refinance with Golden Oak Lending consolidates debt into one manageable monthly payment, giving your budget room to breathe. Get a free mortgage checkup today. Call 913-890-GOLD or visit GoldenOakLending.com. That's 913-890-GOLD. It's Golden Oak Lending, MLS 114937.
America is turning 250 this year, and Circa Sports is celebrating by offering all users in Missouri $250. Dane Hughes here, and for everyone in Missouri, all you have to do is deposit $250 on your Circa Sports app. Then play through that deposit. Once you do, Circa Sports will reward you with $250 right in your account. This is available for everyone in Missouri, new and existing users. Celebrate 250 years and find out more at circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older in Missouri. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What's up, guys? It's Drew. Look, let's be real for a second. When it comes to performance, good just isn't good enough, just like the teams that we cheer for, and that's exactly why Blue Chew raised the bar for you. Introducing Blue Chew Gold, the revolutionary 4-in-1 upgrade that targets both your brain and your body. Blue Chew Gold dissolves right under your tongue and starts working in as little as 15 minutes, so there's less waiting, more confidence, and a whole new level of readiness. And I've told you before, confidence is key. You know it the same as I do. Get started today at BlueChew.com and see why millions of men trust Blue Chew. Now, with a gold standard upgrade that's changing the game for good. It's not just about function anymore. It's about total performance, both physical and mental. They're turning bedroom performance into an Olympic sport, so go for gold. Make life easier by getting harder and discover your options at BlueChew.com. There's a special deal for you there. Get 10% off your first month of Blue Chew Gold with code KFNZ. That's promo code KFNZ. Visit BlueChew.com for more details and important safety info.
The Advent Health Championship is Casey's only PGA Tour event. Whether you're a golfer or you just want to be part of the fun, family-friendly event, see the future stars of the PGA Tour at Blue Hills Country Club, August 20th through 23rd. Ticket information at AdventHealthChampionship.com.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Telly Tire and Auto Center's biggest sale of the year is back. The tires at cost sale. That's right, you pay what we pay, plus mounting and balancing for only $30 per tire. Reserve yours at TELLEtire.com. Take care of your car, take it to Telly. Additional charges apply for tire disposal and road hazard warranty.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
Now that Wendy's has these new biggie deals, everyone in the family can get what they're craving, from nugs to JBCs. The parental units can get an $8 biggie bundle, the eldest who think they're so grown can get a $6 biggie bag, and the little one who can do no wrong can get a $4 biggie bites. You know, assuming they have a credit card. No, I'm kidding. We take cash too. 4, 6, and $8 biggie deals for the whole family. Only at Wendy's.
Price and participation may vary. Single items at regular price. Prices may be higher in Alaska, California, and Hawaii.
This report is brought to you by CM Mose & Son, HVAC, plumbing, and electrical services. CMMoseandSon.com.
Dispatch, this is Mindy at CM Mose & Son.
Coming to terms with the dying AC unit is tough. If you need to replace your AC, visit CMMoseandSon.com to schedule your free estimate. CM Mose & Son. License 202919. Terms and conditions apply.
Car wreck? Get the money you deserve. Mike's got this.
Paid for client portrayal and endorsement. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Give me one good reason why I should call DM Law.
How about 3 great reasons? 1, it's easy. 2, it's fast. 3, the results.
Mike's got this. 816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
What's up, KC? It's Drew Tranquil. The team I hated losing to most in college was undoubtedly USC.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan. Brought to you by SWL Injury Law, the Car Crash Kings. It's what they do. Visit SWLinjurylaw.com.
Okay, 435 North, we've got the crash that has taken up the 2 left lanes. As you approach Bannister, scoot to the right through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you guys on this fantastic Tuesday. Rob, what's coming up after us? We handed things back off to Fox Sports again?
Fox Sports before the Royals take on the Dodgers for Game 2.
I got you. You know what? We should write this down for tomorrow because I'm genuinely curious to know the list. What's the list of baseball players that drive people to go to the park? You know, you and I come from there where, like, Griffey was one of those guys, and Derek Jeter was one of those guys. You know, there was, like, McGuire, Sosa. You know, there's been those guys. Oh, they're in town? I got to make sure that I go to the park to see those guys. Shohei is definitely one of them. I know the Royals are on the road, but Shohei is one of those guys. I'd be curious for a 2026 updated list on who would get you out to the ballpark. I want to see this guy play.
I think that list would be relatively small in 2026. I think that's a sad state of baseball.
Yeah, I'm just curious to know. Do you think Paul Skeens is still on that list?
Yes, I do.
Even though he's been playing so far this season,
he's not been playing well.
trash.
Yeah, he's been bad this season, but I still think he's on that list.
Okay, I was wondering. Can we talk about this NBA thing for a little bit? We only got a couple minutes left in the show. Now, this is normally the segment I can get my NBA thoughts off and no one will judge me. I'm actually very interested to see how this NBA experiment goes where the first game of the season in the NBA is going to be on at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm really curious to see how it goes. I saw a lot of people upset complaining about it, and I was sitting there thinking, I mean, wasn't the World Cup on during the day? Isn't the Masters on during the day? Isn't the NCAA tournament on during the day? Like, we watch all of these things. We can't turn on the NBA game? Now, sure, you're not going to sit there and watch every single dribble of the NBA game, but the game will be on when you get off of work. You can go to a happy hour. You can turn the game on. It will lead into the evening news, so you can watch the fourth quarter if you're one of the people that still watches NBC and get your news that way. I kind of think it's a good idea. I actually think we need more basketball games, more sporting events that happen. Baseball games happen during work hours all the time. They have day games nonstop in baseball. Every Thursday, there's a handful of day games in Major League Baseball. The Cubs didn't have lights until the mid-'80s. Somehow we managed just fine. Now, I'm on you guys' side. I don't want you to think that I'm not, but I don't know why we think now that every single sporting event ever needs to be available to us at 7 o'clock on our televisions. Like, it's okay. I'm telling you, the Pistons and the Celtics will have 81 more basketball games that you can watch. They'll play a lot more games. I think it's a great opening night triple header. It's Boston, Detroit, it's Sixers at Knicks, so LeBron, Philadelphia, and you get to see the Knicks get their championship rings and hang their banners. You know it's going to be star-studded at MSG that night. And then at night, we get the Spurs and the Thunder, and it's a Tuesday, so there's no football interruption. Sign me up. I'm excited for the start of the NBA season. I can't wait. Let's get it going.
How do you feel about the Christmas schedule? Because it feels like they decided on Christmas to usually sports kowtow to the NFL. Oh, the NFL wants this, we'll get out of the way. The NBA doesn't feel like they did that. The NBA with their schedule feels like they said, this is our day, stay away, because that's a strong Christmas schedule.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that we didn't get... I want to see the Celtics-Sixers game, and I want to see Jaylen Brown go to Boston and see what the reaction is. I thought that was going to be the potential Christmas game. We didn't get that opening week, and we didn't get that the Christmas week, so a little confused at why that didn't happen. But yeah, this is a good slate. You got a rematch of the NBA Finals to kick off the day. You got Giannis and the new-look Miami Heat going on the road to play the Boston Celtics. LeBron going back home, so to speak, against the Los Angeles Lakers. So he's going up against his former franchise, going up against Luka. Hopefully everybody's playing in that game. You get Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Anthony Edwards. And then the nightcap, you get Steph Curry. You know, we don't got too many more Christmases with Steph Curry. And then you got Nikola Jokic, who I think is the best basketball player in the world. So I'm with you. I love their Christmas Day schedule.
It felt like, and like it was just interesting because you see other sports get so scared of the NFL. The NBA said, no. Christmas is our day. You're right. It's not perfect. We were like Jaylen Brown, Sixers. That would have been better. But that is a lineup that is designed to compete with Netflix, not a lineup that is, hey, Netflix got us this day, we'll get another day.
Yeah, I mean, if everybody plays, the NBA is a strong product. The problem more than anything is you turn on an NBA game and you're expecting to see the stars play and they don't play. That's the biggest issue. But yeah, if everybody plays and everybody's available, then yeah, that's a really strong Christmas Day lineup. I am intrigued to see what it looks like for LeBron when he goes back. Are they going to be thankful to LeBron for his time there, or is it going to be hostile when it comes to the game against the Los Angeles Lakers? What's the response going to be between him and Luka? Was everything good between those two? Yeah, there's a lot there, in my opinion. A lot there. Spurs and Knicks. I mean, they already booing Wemby. It's already booing him. At least the Knicks earned being on Christmas. They were giving the Knicks Christmas Day for so long, they didn't even earn it. Like, why am I starting off my day with this way? Why am I watching Amari Stoudemire right now? I don't want to watch this nonsense. Yeah, I'm excited about the NBA Christmas Day schedule. All right, I had a lot of fun today. Hopefully you guys had a lot of fun. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Royals baseball tonight. Keep it right here. It's The Drive on 96.5.